Dragonfall. Your mind is flooded with information, scattered and disorganized memories which aren't your own. You try to focus and then make sense of your thoughts. You remember dying. Yes, you were on your way to whatever afterlife life awaited you. Then some kind of dragon appeared and set your soul ablaze with its breath. You remember the pain. It felt like being burned alive by 1,000 stars. No, it wasn't a dragon. It was the dragon, the Urwim, the Chaos Dragon, the Scaled One, the father of all dragons. How do you know all this? You don't know. Pain, the flames of Urwim, still cling to you. You can also feel yourself being pulled towards something. No, you're falling towards something. A universe, a planet, a world. Wait, it doesn't hurt anymore. Are you a falling star? No, you're still a disembodied soul with no physical form. You don't have a body yet. You're transforming. You're turning into something. A dragon. You're turning into a dragon. You can feel that you have the power of 300 Urembers, which you can spend to control your transformation. All right, I dig it. Let's see. Continent. The world you are being towards to is named Elderia. You can see it despite having no eyes. You can feel it despite having no skin. You can remember it despite never setting foot there. Elderia is unlike your world. There is magic there. Magical races, dragons, monsters, and even deities. Although the latter takes on a more passive role. The Elderia is split up to 4 continents, vastly different cultures. There are a lot of dangerous sea monsters, well, dangerous to humanoids anyway. This is the reason why sea travel is so dangerous and rare. Most humanoids in Elderia are human, but there are also other races. You're no longer falling. It's almost like you're flying. No, you're still falling. But you can steer where you fall. You could choose which continent you're falling towards. You are sure you could visit every continent in time, but which one would you like to start on? It's a long way down. There's plenty of time left to decide. New memories of each continent awaken in your mind. All right. Let's see here. Let's go look at the rest of these. So what do we have up front? All right, I'm trying to figure out what the best way of doing this is. Is that better or worse? This seems like almost a worse idea. Oh, I could touch that. Anyway, so we have Calgrim, which is to the north. To the east, we have Mizuchi. To the west, we have Andor. And to the south, we have Tic-Tac-Toe. Ah, there you go. Tic-Tac-Toe. Good. Or Tic-Tac-Toe, rather. All right. Andor. Andor is the largest continent, home to humanoid races, such as humans, elves, dwarves, gnomes, goblins, orcs, centaurs, dryads, and fairies. All right, so going Western fantasy, European, English. The land of Andor is littered with forests, lakes, mountains, and rolling hills. In many ways, it's similar to medieval Europe. There are lots of monsters that terrorize the human races of Andor, and the humanoids have found that it's still much more effective to combat the monsters with small bands of specialized monster hunters, rather than attacking them with large armies. This has led them to create monster hunter guilds that deal with monsters. Excuse me. While the monster hunters deal with the monstrous threats, the soldiers of different kingdoms deal with humanoid threats. Unless, of course, a big dragon attacks, then every man and woman who can bear arms is called upon. Dragons are hated and despised in Andor because they are the most dangerous of all monsters. Young dragons are actively hunted by many of the monster hunter guilds that reside here. Some dragons are enslaved by powerful spellcasters, but keeping an enslaved dragon as a familiar is extremely dangerous, as dragons almost always tend to break free from such spells. Andor is split into 2 landmasses, Anduvia and Sendor. Anduvia is the northern region of Andor, and Sendor is the southern part of Andor. In Anduvia, any non-humans are enslaved and referred to as half-monsters or demi-humans. Magic is also banned. The reason for this is their worship of India. While they don't have any mages, they have powerful warrior priests. In Sendor, on the other hand, non-humans are mostly treated as equals, and magic is highly valued because of their power. All right, I dig it. it does seem like it'd be fun, like sort of high fantasy. I wonder where you would want to go though. Either the north and just be a total cunt. I mean, presumably, it almost seems like it would be more dangerous to go to the south, to be born in the south because of all the magic you'd have to deal with. Although if you go to the north, the magic you'd have to deal with would be fewer, but but it would also be like probably far more dangerous, because if they could live there, they would be what's the word? Probably more adept at using it. All right, Calgrim. Calgrim is the coldest continent. It is made up of fjords, tundras, pine forests, mountains, grasslands, and Arctic wastelands, which are too cold for most humanoids to survive. The humans of Calgrim tend to be bigger, stronger, and sturdier than those of other continents. Humans, dwarves, orcs, giants, goblins, and ogres make up most of the humanoid races that live on Calgrim. There are some forest elves too, but they are almost extinct and live in secrecy. Most believe them to be little more than myths. Food is scarce on Calgrim. Only the southernmost grasslands are warm enough for farming. The humanoids used to gather most of their food by hunting animals and monsters. They used to. They still do, but they used to also. Strength is everything on Calgrim, and to prove their strength, some chieftains would challenge dragons. If they lost, the dragon would kill them and become the new chieftain of the tribe. Rad. For only the strong should rule. There is no room for weakness on Calgrim. However, if the dragon lost, they would recognize the chieftain's strength and serve the chieftain for as long as they remain chieftain. Such a challenge is not something a prideful creature such as a dragon could refuse. With the aid of dragons, the humanoid tribes of Calgrim could hunt the monsters of the sea, which they had previously feared. And once their fear of the sea was banished, they began raiding other continents for food, valuables, and slaves. Slaves? Most tribes do not have a dragon or a dragon chieftain. Instead, they form pacts or make deals with dragons. The deals or pacts they make tend to heavily favor the part which is perceived to be the strongest. Most tribes pay heavy prices in order to raid for food and riches across the sea. Excuse me. This seems to be like the softest choice for a starting location. Because it seems like you don't want to be. They don't want to kill you because they can use you outright. And then you can just kind of use them to go and, build your strength until you're old enough and strong enough to really take on the rest of the world. But then again, if you're prideful as a dragon, you probably don't want to, wait. Iktakotak. Oh, fuck, I'm retarded. Ixtakotak is made up of several islands. The environment consists of tropical jungles, swamps, rainforests, mountains, volcanoes, deserts, and waterfalls. Some humanoid races that live here are humans, merfolk, nagas, sirens, lizardmen, and harpies. Iktakotak has the largest populations of dragons, largely due to having subdued the humanoid races into serving them, but also because the monsters of Iktakotak are much larger than the monsters of any other continent, providing the dragons with some abundance of food. Most monsters look similar to dinosaurs of your old world. Every island has its own dragon lord that governs it in a court of dragons. The dragon court serves two purposes: to cull the local monster populations and to serve the dragon lords as elite warriors. All right. Let's see. But most of the time, they tend to laze around piles of gold while being entertained by their human servants. The humanoids of Iktakotak. That's an K, not a K, right? Taco. You know what, man? I'm illiterate and I'm kind of retarded. More than the humanoids of let's say tic-tac-toe are little more than slaves, except for those gifted by magic. They are inducted into the local dragon lord's cult. Okay. If dragons are the gods of tic-tac-toe, then the members of the dragon cults are their high priests. Okay. They happily serve their dragon overlords with absolute loyalty. The dragon priests practice powerful ritual magic that requires sacrifice. Not every dragon ruler is a tyrant. Some treat their humanoid subjects with kindness, but those are in the vast minority. Metal is rare on tic-tac-toe, which makes their armies under-equipped in comparison to the other continents. They rely more on powerful sorcery, tamed war beasts, and the overwhelming might of their draconic rulers to crush their enemies. Most of the humanoid soldiers of tic-tac-toe are merely used as cannon fodder. I don't hate it. It seems like it'd be the most welcoming. And I could also see if you land in the wrong place, them kind of fucking with you to be subservient to older dragons. But it does sound neat, almost kind of like a shonen plot, to be able to go, like, you make your way from a different continent and you go by each different dragon lord and try to beat them and sort of gain their territory, and then they kind of become like vassals almost. You beat them like Pokemon gym badges or something, gym leaders. Mizuchi. Mizuchi. Let's see here. The eastern continent of Mizuchi is a lush green land full of majestic mountains, bamboo forests, groves, open steppes, and regular forests. Okay. Beautiful green. Love it. The environment and the architecture are remarkably similar to eastern lands of your old world. Humans, Kitsune, One, Usage, Nico, and Inu make up some of the humanoid races that live here. The barrier that separates the spiritual world is much thinner in Mizuchi. Spirits take on physical forms. Dragons, spirits, and humanoids live in relative harmony. The dragons of Mizuchi view humans as children. They are young races who show promise and may one day become equals to the dragons. But to do so, they need guidance, rather than rule over them like untrusting parents. They want the humanoids to learn and grow from their mistakes. Because of this, dragons tend to avoid interfering in the conflicts among humans. Each village and town and city has its own dragon, has its own dragon or spirit guardian to protect it against hostile monsters, spirits, or dragons. Not every dragon is a guardian. Some have created temples where they share their knowledge with those who are willing to learn in the ways of the dragon. Such students are called samurai, shinobi, monks, or spirit callers. Others spend their time as advisors or family guardians for noble families. However, there are also dragons who despise and hunt humans. They are referred to as honorless dragons. Honorless dragons are hunted by other dragons. Mizuchi is split up into 3 warring human kingdoms. The northern kingdom of the wise and powerful Dragon Emperor. The central kingdom of the strong and ferocious Tiger Emperor. And the southern kingdom of the immortal and beautiful Phoenix Empress. Interesting. Mouth feels like it's full of water, but I need to drink more. I guess this sounds... Okay, so basically every place other than Andor seems like it'd be relatively safer. Andor does... God, but I want to go to Andor. It really feels like... where would I want to go? I think it depends on the build, but in my head... How do I show my cursor? Is this a thing I can do? Has to be... color sources. Whatever, it's lame. But we display capture, cursor, something scene, window capture, audio input, whatever, suck it. I'm thinking, I know you can't see it, but we go to Calgrim. We make our way. Let's see. We go to the northern Calgrim, right? Not where it's easy and soft. Maybe not. I wonder. We go to southern Calgrim, where there's plenty. I guess would it be plentiful food? So what I'm thinking is, you go to maybe central Calgrim. Go to central Calgrim, where food isn't so hard up that people are there's nothing but giant monsters and the hardest of humans to fight for it. but not southern Calgrim where they're like super anal. I have to imagine anywhere on Calgrim people will be pretty anal about having food and wanting to protect it. But let's say on central Calgrim, go there, then we make our way south as we progress. We make our way up, we grow, we go to Andor, northern Andor, fuck with them. We conquer that son bitch, and then we make our way further south. We see all those people there. I wonder, would we want to? We go all the way down to the south, and then we kind of make our way back up to the dick tip, and we fly to the highest. I know I'm getting ahead of myself, but in my head, this is like the first thing I'd want to do before it's even built. Later on, the climate and geography of Calgrim is expanded upon. All right, dope. Then I'll get to that. I won't waste too much time. We fly over to the northern one. It's fucking magic stones. Oh, okay. Jump to northern tic-tac-toe, and then make our way to Mizuchi. Right, I'd want to go there, see what there is to learn from the nips, the Mizzies, I guess. Before we go and do the Pokemon League challenge of tic-tac-toe. So that's kind of what I'm thinking. Species. All right, now we're getting to the good stuff. All right, let's see. Can we get a counter? I want to get a counter for later. 300 year embers. Okay. We'll get a images. There's got to be something. Color source? No, I don't even know what this is. Does this work? Oh, I can get fucked. That's terrible. I might be retarded, but at least I'm... there we go. Here's some text. Let's see. Okay, we'll do it. Ember. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Let's go 300. Oh, boy. Hell yeah. All right. Let's see. We'll change the font color to... How do I do that? No idea. Read from file. Defaults. I don't care. This is lame. We'll just leave that there, and then we'll go beautiful. Bop. Put that bad boy up there, and we'll remember. Oh, I don't know what I just moved, but I moved something. Oh, all right. Nailed it. All right. Our embers chilling there. You're moving all the way down. Let's go. And we can add to it, subtract from it if we need to. All right, species. You can feel time slowing down, crawling to a standstill. Your soul needs a container. It needs a body, or you will have nothing that theaters your soul to a physical realm. You have to create a new body, but first you have to choose one species of dragon to turn into. But what do you do? But what do you know about dragons? You ask yourself. You know plenty. You realize your memory is still a bit fuzzy. You just need some time to organize your thoughts, and it seems like you have all the time in the world. I gotta say, people talk shit, but in terms of like the fantasy of and I don't know much about the authors. I know occasionally. The only thing I know is that people don't like him, and he's the only one I've seen post really. However, I love the fantasy of this falling down and sort of time stopping to make the choices. It's pretty fucking great. So let's start with Western Dragon. So we have we gain Giant Wing Tier 1, Scales Tier 2. Western dragons are the most iconic species of dragon in Andor. They are famous for their hard scales, but also their greed, ruthlessness, and aggression. They tend to raid humanoid settlements to steal their treasure and add them to their hoard. The most powerful Western dragons have more treasures than the richest kings. I dig that. And quite frankly, like... Let's see. I think it's back up. That was weird. Alright then. We'll survive. Alrighty then. Thank you. Welcome back. I'm not sure what the fuck just happened there, but let's... Oh, there's chat. still in the top left. Dope. Let's see, does that work? Now where was I? Something about Western dragons. I love the fact that they have hands. It's really it's just being able to touch. They have the wings. The proportions are fantastic. I think this is actually a really beautiful or perfect sort of representation of what I like about them. I think they're neat. What is this the image? What am I touching here? Hold on. There we go. The proportions of them are really dope. Let's see. Northern dragons. Let's see. You gain wings tier 1, muscles tier 2, fur tier 1, horns tier 1, roar tier 1, and 2 year embers. All right. Let's see. Northern dragons are the most common species of dragons on Calgrim. They're known for their legendary strength, majestic horns, thick coat of fur, and their bloodlust when it comes to brute force. There is no stronger species of dragon than the northern dragons. In battle, they tend to charge their enemies like wild bulls. A fur and a dragon sounds wrong. It just sounds fundamentally incompatible with goddamn anything. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know about that. Let's see. What else? Yeah, I don't know. It seems kind of I do like the rest of these tiers though. It looks like there's a fuck ton of stuff you get for that. Eastern dragons. Let's take a look at these bad boys. You gain wingless flight. The most common dragon species of Mizuchi are eastern dragons. Their bodies are long, serpentine. Their limbs are relatively small in proportion to their lengthy bodies. Eastern dragons possess an inherent connection to the spiritual world, which gives them the curious ability to fly, despite having no wings. They tend to be powerful spellcasters. I don't hate longs. I think they're kind of neat. But at the same time, I don't know why anybody would ever pick one. I'm going to test something real quick just to make sure that this is popping up and my thing isn't glitched. Bop. And it works. Dope. All right. Let's keep moving on. Let's see what else we have. Southern dragons. Weird, almost Quetzalcoatl things. Oh, how many do we have here? Oh, we got a bit. Oh, baby. All right. Southern dragons. Gain wing tier 2. They're fast as fuck. Feathers tier 1. Senses tier 1. Regeneration tier 1. Elemental resistance tier 1. Heat. Southern dragons are the most common of tic-tac-toe. Their appearance is remarkably similar to the different saurian species native to tic-tac-toe. They also have feathered wings, which make them stand apart from saurians and most of the other dragon species. Southern dragons also possess regeneration. Okay, I dig it. I can see it. I see why somebody might want to do it. But compared, if I remember, scales are just absolutely ridiculously OP. But these are fast and they have regeneration, which is pretty killer. So, I mean, you get a lot for these. It might be good to just build off of one of them. Elemental dragons. So honestly, my mind is almost made up already just because of just how much I like Western dragons as a concept, but I'm going to go through these relatively quick. Elemental dragons. Gain wings tier 1 and choose one element. You gain elemental resistance tier 3 and tier 1 breath attack, which is thematic to your chosen element. That'd be ice. Easy. Immediately. It's my favorite sort of pseudo element. I guess it'd be water if you can use ice with it, but elemental dragons are half dragons and half elementals. All elemental dragon bodies are either fully or partially made of an element. But there exists a huge variety of elemental dragons. For example, there exists ice, lava, and forest dragons. Okay. Not too bad. It seems like pretty I mean, elemental resistance tier 3, that seems like it's probably full resistance, but not terrible. Drakes. Gain wings tier 1, claws tier 2, crawling tier 2, and claws tier 1. Drakes have sinuous bodies and are much more agile compared to other dragons. Dragon species, especially on the ground. Their movements are graceful and snake-like. The way they move is almost mesmerizing. They're able to bob and weave between attacks. Their agility is very effective against large enemies, such as monsters or other dragons. Okay, that's kind of neat, especially in the if you wanted to go for a PvP sort of meta with this against other dragons, which, I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't want to. It seems like the thing to do here, since dragons are the apex predators. Wyverns. Gain, let's see here. Gain wings tier 2, flight tier 2, and claws tier 1. Most dragon species have 4 legs. Wyverns only got 2. Their body composition makes them excellent flyers and deadly aerial predators. While they are spectacular in the air, they aren't as impressive on the ground. They're at a severe disadvantage when fighting on land because of their missing front legs. But wyverns usually don't spend a lot of time on the ground. Yeah, whenever in any sort of fantasy thing I see, if they have wyverns instead of normal Western dragons, I'm always just so disappointed. I get the aesthetic of it; it's pretty neat. Just their arms are just giant wings, and it's really just 2 massive wings and a maw coming at you, potentially with frightening talons behind it. But there's something civilizing, like the old English tradition, about having the hand front legs, and it's less bestial, but more intimidating in a, oh fuck, not only is it going to kill me and eat me, but it might outthink me as well. Let's see here. What else? Fairy dragons. Gain insectoid wings. Wings tier 1, magic tier 1. Fairy dragons are the smallest of dragon species. They can easily be recognized with their bright colors and butterfly-like wings. Most of them live in forests and other places where fey creatures dwell. They are famous for their mischievous nature, magical affinity, and insectoid wings. They tend to favor spells that confuse or bewilder their enemies over destructive spells. I really dig insectoid wings and beetle wings. They're so nondescript, being in those tiny little chitinous shells, and they come out and they're fucking massive, and they flutter really quick. I wonder how that would look on a dragon, having them encased beneath the dragon scales, only to spread out just giant, massive, leathery scaled wings and just beat with the speed of insectoid wings. That'd be pretty cool. Dragon turtle. Gain shell. Scales tier 2, jaws tier 2, and claws tier 2. Dragon turtles look like giant turtles, but more dragon-like. Aight. Their appearance wildly differentiates based on the continent. That makes sense. Their shell is harder than most metals. Only dragonite or something of equivalent hardness can make a dent in it. Dragon turtles tend to be among the more peaceful dragon species, which is a contributing factor to why most of them live on Mizuchi. See, I can see Mizuchi having those lion-faced turtles or something, to where, dragon turtles, a lot of feathers for tic-tac-toe, more Western dragon like on Andor, and then I can't imagine what they'd be like on the northern continent. That'd be kind of neat, though. Let's see. Let's keep going. I gotta think of that one a little bit more. Hydra. Multiple body parts, head, regeneration tier 3, jaws tier 2. Hydras are famous for their many heads and their unparalleled regenerative abilities. Heroes have been known to cut off head after head, only for them to regrow moments later and bite off the hero's head when they've become exhausted. While hydras are fearsome creatures, most of them cannot fly like other dragons because of their lack of wings. Not bad. The hydras are pretty fucking intimidating. They seem like they would be really, really good for dragon versus dragon combat. So, especially if they have breath weapons, that they can be used out of every head. That'd be nuts. Oh man, regenerative heads with breath weapons. That's spooky. Okay, salamanders gain breath tier 3, tail tier 2, and 5 year embers, which can only be spent on breath attacks. All right. Salamanders are another wingless dragon species. They are famous for having especially powerful breath attacks and being able to use their breath attacks more often than any other dragon species. Salamanders tend to attack from a distance and only engage their enemies when they are soften them up a bit with breath attacks. All right. I don't hate it. I think it's kind of neat. Give them some wings, and it's all right. Leviathans gain amphibious, fins tier 2, jaws tier 1, and all sizes cost 50% less embers. Leviathans are easily the largest dragon species. They live in the sea where there are plenty of big sea monsters to hunt. Unlike other dragons, Leviathans have no legs or wings. Instead of legs, they have large fish-like fins. Their anatomy gives them next to no mobility to traverse terrestrial environments, but underwater they're surprisingly swift for their massive size. I can see wanting to play something like world-ending sort of tier. You're in the ocean, but I mean, come on. That's half the fun, is being terrestrial, right? Being on land, fucking with people. I can imagine a couple builds with it, but it's definitely like one of the last things I'd want to do. Let's continue on. I gotta figure out how I'm keep fucking with my image. All right. Let's go here. I'm not sure what thing I put this on. Oh, that's it. I'm just retarded. Once again. All right. Let's try this. Oh, there we go. Kick ass. All right. Worm. Digging tier 3. Senses tier 3. Touch. Jaws tier 2. And tail tier 1. Okay, we're going tremors. Worms are legless, wingless dragons. They essentially look like snakes, but more draconic. These dragons are known for their uncanny ability to dig through dirt, sand, and gravel. The speed at which they dig make them look like they are swimming through the ground, as if it were water. Give me 1 second. I'm going to move my desk to a standing desk. Swimming through the ground as if it were water. While below ground, they navigate by their phenomenal sense of touch, which allows them to sense vibrations. That's not too bad, but they ain't got no hands, Lieutenant Dan. And that's another huge thing. I don't know why somebody would pick a dragon who can't walk or touch anything. Sky serpents. Gains wings tier 2, flight tier 2, and jaws tier 1. Sky serpents are legless dragons. They look like bewinged serpents. They are swift, fluid, and graceful in the air. Witnessing the flight of a sky serpent is a spectacular sight. The way they coil and move in the air makes other flying dragons seem like sluggish and clumsy. In tic-tac-toe, they are known as Quetzalcoatl. Many of the sky serpents have feathered wings. Okay, I dig it. I can see it. But I mean, I can't see being it, but I understand. And by God, the size on that thing looks fantastic. Sea serpent. Gain amphibious, swimming tier 2, jaws tier 2, tail tier 3. Just like the name suggests. Sea serpents look like snakes. They are great swimmers and have powerful tails, which they use for both swimming and combat. In battle, they will wrap their tail around their prey and choke them to death by constriction. Unlike Leviathan, sea serpents are able to move fairly well on land. Contrary to what their name suggests, some sea serpents live in lakes or swamps. I can go for Nessie. I can see that, kinda. I can see why somebody would want to. You know, they just want to be a local dragon, not be a world-ending thing. All right, half-dragon. Beyond the 15 true dragon species, there exists 3 half-dragon species. Half-dragons are born when true dragons breed with humanoids. You could choose to become a half-dragon instead of a true dragon. Half-dragons aren't treated like true dragons by other humanoids and true dragons. In Andor, they are treated as if they were cursed, and most people shun them. In Calgrim, they are treated like neither humanoid nor dragon, but something in between. In Tic-Tac-Toe, they are treated as bastards of royal blood. In Mizuchi, half-dragons are treated with respect and reverence. If a half-dragon breeds with a humanoid, their children will be born of the humanoid race of either parent. If a half-dragon breeds with a true dragon, their child will be that of a true dragon or a half-dragon. Like all dragon species, half-dragons cannot die from old age. Half-dragons usually stop aging when they are between 10 to 35 years old. You would be able to choose at which age you stop aging. All right. Let's see what we got here. Scale spawn. Humanoid, gain humanoid hands. Ooh, I dig it. Muscles, tier 2, and 35-year ember, which can only be spent on features that scalings can't purchase. Okay. Scale spawn are the most bestial half-dragons, species both physically and mentally. They look like humanoid dragons. Scale spawns are usually similar in size to the largest humanoids, but possess strength that a human could never hope to match. Famous for their ferocity in battle and lust for gold. Scale spawns cannot be female. Fucking rad. Just a bunch of chunky dudes. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird that I don't hate that it's kind of limited to dudes. It looks so entirely masculine. It's a weird, but see, I don't know. I don't think I'd pick any one of these 3, if I had the choice. But it's still pretty fucking dope looking. Scaleborn, humanoid hands, magic tier 1, 35. Ember, which can only be spent on features that scalings cannot purchase. Scaleborn looks like a mix between species of their parents, but tend to take on a more humanoid appearance with a few dragonic features such as wings, tails, horns, or claws. Scaleborns are naturally talented at magic and tend to rely on a mix of might and magic in combat. Okay. It seems like a scale. I don't know. I guess this would be a scaly thing, the scale spawn, but I don't know. I just think it's metal as fuck. The other ones I can see why some women might want to be that, but I don't know. I mean, I guess I've seen some sort of D&D things where people are like, I just have a big old dragon arm, which okay, I'm maybe being a little too judgmental off the bat, but let's go to scalings. Scalings, humanoid hands, fertility tier 2. Oh my, and 35-year embers. Scalings look indistinguishable from other members of the same race as their humanoid parents. All scalings are supernaturally beautiful, and their alluring good looks make them very attractive to true dragons. Oh shit. Many of their more powerful true dragons have scaling consorts because scalings lack obvious dragonic features that can easily blend in with other humanoids. It's weird. I thought for some reason I really thought that was going to be the female only. Okay. Well, I think it's, like I said before, it's not really a contest. Western dragons seem to be the go-to. If anybody else has like something they would dig in terms of like why they would want to be something else, I would love to hear it. Why they would want to pick one, but really Southern dragons or Western dragons. Northern dragons, The fur gets me. It seems like they do, to be fair. They do have a lot of other bonuses. But just aesthetically, they don't have any scales, and they look kind of meh. And Eastern dragons, I don't want to be along. But Southern's got stuff. They seem to have a bonus, so I don't hate it. Let's assume. So what are we gonna do here? Let's add another text thing. We'll do. Oh, I gotta move my keyboard. Standing desk. I'm fucking silly. Okay, so we'll call this one. Move my mic down here before I move my thing. We'll call this Dragon Info. info. Bada bing. We'll make the text a little smaller. Let's get that from 200. Let's make it 72. Let's try that. Oh, that's still way too big. Western. What do we think? 36. Yeah, Western Dragon. What do you call this? Choices. Boop. Alright, I dig it. Put that on the side. Alright. Looking pretty rad. Next one. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this, we'll change this name to page 1, and then I'll add another page. See, we're figuring this out. We're doing it all together. You guys are seeing this. Page 1, and then we'll hide it just in case we need it again, because you never know. Image, we'll do page 2. Beautiful, beautiful. Let's go here. I gotta find the folder. Oh, it's deep within my workshop. Because I do a lot of projects. Busy, busy, busy. Busy bee. Alright, I dig it. Alright, so let's put that underneath. We'll close that one, and we'll go to page 2, baby. God, this might have to be a two-parter, not for nothing. We've signed up for a long thing here. Alright, what do we got here? Page 2, sizes. Oh my. Alright. Take a wee drink. Alright, size. You now have a rough idea of your new body will look. But what about the size? Dragons can be classified to 6 different sizes. Like any animal size, a dragon size will determine its physical strength and durability. When it comes to physical prowess, bigger is always better. Even a dragon's breath attack will increase in size proportionality to its body size. But, like other animals, dragons will need to eat more food the bigger they are. What size would you want your new body to be? You have the feeling you won't be able to grow any bigger than the size you select. So you should choose a size with that in mind. Scale spawn, scale born, and scale lynx can only be small. All right, let's see. What do we have here? We have tiny, between the size of a tiny bird up to a medium-sized bird. Okay, so it's some kings and queens. We're not doing that. Let's be real. Small. We're not going to do small. We're not going to do medium. We don't want to be the size of a dog for small. No. Medium. Rhinos. No, we're not. That's not the kind of build we're going to be. We're going to be something massive. Something fucking glorious. How glorious can we be? What if we put this here? How do I? Oh, that would be why. That's so silly. Why can I not move my image? Oh. Maybe this was a mistake. This was a mistake. Sir, I just want to move my image. All right, can you still see this? All right. Let's see, large. All right. He's gonna have to fuck off. Fuck off. Large. Oh, I should just put this on top. Oh, I'm a fool. All right, here we go. Large. The dragons, large-sized dragons are the size of elephants to large houses. A dragon this size is usually an apex predator in the territory they claim for themselves. These kinds of dragons that Andorians have nightmares about. Okay, interesting. Enormous. A dragon this size is an absolute force of nature. Enormous dragons can be anywhere between the size of a small castle to a large castle. Extremely few land-living dragons grow this large, grow this large, and those who do will undoubtedly have their names go down in legend. Gargantuan. A gargantuan dragon is about the size of a small mountain to a large one. Gargantuan dragons are the rarest dragons, and most of them are aquatic and live in the sea, where they can hunt large sea monsters. Okay. That's so the question here is, are we going for large, enormous, or gargantuan? So now we're getting to the cost differences. We only have 300, and if I recall correctly, there's 10 pages of this. We have We have a lot of things to spend points on. And if we drop 80 right now, I mean, this is the max size, right? We're not going to be... So I'm going to say, right now, I'm thinking enormous for right now. But maybe with some mods or something else, this may change. Enormous are pretty... Oh, let's see, unless this fucked everything up. Nope. Right on. All right, got the keyboard up here now. And let's edit this little thing. Not our chat, but our dragon info. We're going with... Excusez-moi. Enormous. Lovely. Oh, color source page. Beautiful. All right. So, Spice of a Small Castle. I don't mind the Deathwing thing, but I mean, who doesn't want to be just fucking giant, right? Am I crazy to want to be gargantuan? Okay, no, being stuck as gargantuan is a little much, but I imagine there's magic that'll allow you to go down to a more diminutive size. Color. In your mind's eye, you can picture your new body. You see its overall shape and size, but it lacks color. It needs color. The color of a dragon is important because it often decides the dragon's breath attack. There are so many colors to choose from, but you can only choose one. You can add a few different colors here and there for aesthetic reasons, but the color you choose must be the dominant color of your new body. Colors will only affect a Scaleborn's dragonic features, while a Scaling's color would only affect their hair color. Elemental dragons do not get to choose a color. Well, that makes sense because they're of that element. Now, here's where I'm kind of torn because I have a feeling I know where this is going to go, and so I'm thinking about this in a couple ways, right? So there's the aesthetic view that you have to what you want your dragon to look like, and then there is the thematic view, right? Because in my head, if you have to choose one life, and you're going to be a fucking dragon, you want to go down. Not just in Legends, but you want to be like, you're given this one opportunity. Why would you want to be somebody's pet? Why would you want to be a small dragon? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. At least, like, I'm glad the option's there for somebody who wants a build of something like that. But for me, I would want to go above and beyond. Right? So how do you want to be known in your legend? Right? Do you want to be this giant, fire-breathing, benevolent, king? Do you want to be the destroyer of worlds? Do you want to be this ice apocalypse, nature, like like green? Let's see, like the force of nature coming back to take the land itself. I don't know. And if we're enormous or gargantuan, I don't know. Let's continue and we'll figure it out. If anybody has any ideas, fucking let me know. I'd like to see other people's takes off of it because I really like bouncing stuff off. But red. Fire Breath Tier 1 or Lava Breath Tier 1. Red dragons gravitate towards hot environments like savannas, volcanic landscapes, deserts, canyons. Hot-blooded, aggressive, proud, and fierce are some of the traits which are associated with red dragons. The vast majority of red dragons breathe fire, but some are capable of breathing lava. So just liquid rock, just spurting it out on people. It's not bad. It's like napalm. Doesn't shoot out as far, or is it, but it's got to be real effective. Green. Gains either Poison Breath Tier 1 or Spirit Breath Tier 1. Most green dragons live in lush forests, jungles, or swamps. They tend to feel at home in nature, and most of them are fiercely protective of their territories, known to kill humanoids for cutting down trees or performing similar acts. Green dragons can be harmonious and friendly, but also volatile, sly, and vengeful. Yeah, probably. I never understood why anybody would want to pick Poison Breath. Spirit Breath, we'll see what it does later, but blue. Gain Water Breath Tier 1 or Lightning Breath Tier 1. Blue dragons tend to be amphibious or aquatic. They often live close to water, where they can get the most out of their breath attacks. Blue dragons are most famous for being cold, calculating, and intelligent. Even the blue dragons, which have more animalistic levels of intelligence, are known to possess a bestial cunning. I dig that. I could dig that. I love that it's either water or lightning. Just like a pressurized water shot, just cutting through things, or just lightning. Still thinking no to either of these. This is like a B tier. Fire's A tier. Lava is like B as well. Poison's C tier. Spirit can either be like S or D. An aesthetic quality, it's probably like a C tier, but let's go. Black. Acid Breath Tier 1 or Energy Breath Tier 1. Black dragons prefer to live in desolate places like swamps, badlands, wastelands. They're infamous for being vicious, greedy, malicious, sadistic, and power hungry. Despite their sinister personality traits, they are often visited by ambitious or desperate humanoids. This is because out of all dragons, black dragons are most likely to form packs or make deals with humanoids. Acid Breath's kind of neat. It corrosive and interesting. It's a weird aesthetic. It's a real black dragon aesthetic. It's not terrible. It's up there. It's pretty great. But the energy weapon, it's like maybe a C, a B for acid. And energy is rad, but it really depends on how it looks and like what is it capable of. Let's go with white. Frost Breath Tier 1 or Smoke Breath Tier 1. White dragons favor cold environments like tundras, snow-covered mountains, and Arctic lands. They have a reputation for being more animalistic, ferocious, and savage than dragons of other colors. They are great hunters and take pride in hunting large and dangerous monsters. White dragons often decorate their lairs with trophies made from bones of their mightiest prey. Now, I do kind of hate that the ice is associated with the white ones. I get it. And I always felt weird that the white ice dragons were like the most physically rough and tumble of all of them. For some reason, it seemed like they would be more intellectual than bestial, but I suppose if you're in the tundra, where it's just like the harshest environment to live, they would be nothing but like savage animals. Frost Breath, I think. I think it's A tier on S tier. It's like right up there with Fire Breath, but Smoke Breath is like solid B just because of, well, hold on. Smoke, if we're talking just like smoke, that's like D, but if it's like mist, freezing mist or something, that's like a B tier. It's neat. Let's go yellow. Gain lightning breath or fire breath. Okay, yellow dragons are known for being noble, honorable, and just, but most choose to not interact with humanoids unless the humanoids are in immediate danger. Most yellow dragons are nomadic, but they are seldom travel across continents. They like to follow thunderstorms and are drawn to lightning. When they travel, they prefer to nest at high altitudes. Okay, if you go for the long, I don't know. I'm a sucker for like not tropes necessarily, but what is it? Maybe tropes. Just the sort of default sort of classics. I love the classics. So I don't hate yellow, but I'm not going for a long, so I don't know. I'm thinking white or red are really where I'm living. White, red, and blue is kind of like a runner-up. Brown. I don't know why anybody would pick brown for a dragon. It seems just terrible. Brown dragons favor rocky environment. Oh, fire breath or wind breath. Excuse me. Brown dragons favor rocky environments like cliffs, canyons, and mountain areas. They are well known for their being brutal, territorial, stubborn, stoic, brave, and their love for battle is legendary. Most brown dragons only respect those they perceive as strong or fearless. They resent weakness and trickery. Okay, so I can imagine if you want to be a gargantuan dragon with like almost no flight or definitely no magic, and just want to go for brown, I can kind of see it. Orange. Gain Poison Breath Tier 1 or Lava Breath Tier 1. Like red dragons, orange dragons gravitate towards hot environments, but unlike red dragons, they don't like arid biomes as much as they like humid environments. They could fucking suck it. Humid environments are terrible. And are much more at home in tropical jungles or rainforests. Most orange dragons are rather sluggish and aren't very aggressive unless provoked. Let's see. Dragons will show no mercy. 1 minute. All right, dead air's over. Let's see. Yeah, no, poison, sluggish dragons. That seems inappropriate for it. I don't know. It seems F tier, terrible. Gray. Wind breath tier 1 or smoke breath tier 1. A lot of gray dragons love high altitudes and tend to live near tall mountains or cliff sides. Unlike most dragons of other colors, gray dragons usually don't have a single lair. They have multiple well-hidden layers and will migrate between them at a change of season. Gray dragons are known for being diplomatic, fickle, impulsive, energetic, and adaptive. I could see it. I could see. I mean, I wouldn't. It's still like C tier at best. Okay, so now we're getting to the weird ones. Okay, there's only 3 left. Teal dragons. That seems. I can't even imagine that really. I just don't think of them as being teal for some reason. Gain poison breath tier 1 or acid breath tier 1. Teal dragons often live near valleys, coasts, or other places where mist is common. Most teal dragons could be described as reclusive, enigmatic, patient, secretive, and crafty. In battle, they tend to favor stealth and guile rather than brute force. When attacking humanoid villages and cities, they often do so in the cover of mist, or in the night, I can see a more, anyway, as it says, a more subtle playstyle or life as a teal dragon, but not what we're going for. Purple. Energy breath tier 1 or mana breath tier 1. Most purple dragons are drawn to places of great magical power, such as natural arcane ley lines, ancient magical fortresses, eldritch temples, and similar places of power. Purple dragons tend to be ambitious, greedy, and clever. Many intelligent purple dragons are well versed in the arcane arts and are powerful spellcasters, even by dragon standards. I can see why somebody would want to do that if they're doing a very magic-heavy build. I don't know if I'm going to do that, but we'll see. Iridescent. Costs 30 or embers. Omni breath. Every time you use your breath attack, you will use a random tier 3 breath attack. When used, you will instinctively know which tier 3 breath attack you will be able to use next time. Okay, not terrible. It's interesting. It seems maladaptive, but it can be situationally useful. Iridescent dragons are the rarest of all different colors. They tend to have widely different personalities and share no common traits based on their color. Yeah, they're special snowflakes. Not terrible, but so what are we seeing here? Purple, teal, not bad. These are situational. Grays are all right. Brown are all right. These 3 are generally about the same. Orange sucks. Yellow's fine. If we're talking personality, I like the yellow. I like the heroic nature of it. A little bit of the blues, cunning and guile. I can't say that I'm particularly. I ain't all there in the head, but you know, there's something to be said about it. I'm probably gonna go with white, and red's calling me just for that iconic nature of just a giant fire-breathing red dragon. But in the moment, I'm thinking we're gonna go white dragon, and I can kind of see it. I saw it before. I got distracted, but like. It comes from the north. This like the legend, the white dragon from the north, the just a giant beast. God, the amount of things that you can write down with it. It's a lot, but just having it white coming from the most northern area wouldn't be too bad. Let's see. Let's just say white dragon for now. And we'll keep going. About. Ciao. What's poppin', fellow weirdos? It's your boy HP back at it again with the fish people. Breath attack. You have chosen your color and your breath attack, but there is more to your breath attack. It could be made stronger, or you could choose another breath attack that isn't associated with your chosen color. It might cost you some extra ember. But most beings are familiar with different breath attacks of different dragon colors. If you had an unusual breath attack for your color, you can gain the advantage of the element of surprise. By default, you can only purchase 1 breath attack, and you can use your breath attack 3 times per day. Each time you use your breath attack, mouthful, you'll be able to channel it for up to 5 seconds. To purchase a higher tier of an option, you must first either possess the previous tier of the option or purchase it. For example, if you gained Fire Breath Tier 1 from red, and then Fire Tier Breath 3, it would cost an extra 10 embers. If you didn't gain Fire Breath Tier 1, then Tier 3, it would cost a total of 15. Alright, let's see. So these are the different tiers. This is what they can actually do. So, yeah, I guess it kind of goes with your starting personality. I mean, I suppose I feel like I kind of skipped over that for all of these, but I mean, being just a prideful white tail is, yeah, brother, we're coming from the north. You know what, I still dig that. Pretty true neutral. Going from the north, kind of going for just kind of like a lone wanderer from the, I don't know. I guess it really depends on the people, huh? Let's see what the breath attacks do. So tier 1 for fire, you can breathe fire. This breath attack is useful for causing destruction, setting things ablaze, but is rather ineffective against metal plate armor and metal shields. Your breath burns hotter for tier 2. Once you set something on fire, it will be much harder to extinguish the flame. Even when burning object is fully submerged in cold water, it might take a few seconds for the fire to be put out. Tier 3, your breath burns even hotter. With concentrated fire, this breath attack can transform stone into molten rock. It has no problem heating metal, making metal armors too hot to wear, potentially liquefying them with repeated breath attacks. However, it won't do much against magical armor or shields. Huh. Now I wonder, since I only have... I guess let's go through these, since see if there's one worth buying. Poison breath, tier 1. You can breathe poisonous gas. Anyone who breathes in your gas will become poisoned. Their health will rapidly deteriorate after 30 minutes. Their health will rapidly deteriorate, and after 30 minutes, they will die without any magical treatment of a similar tier as a breath attack. You are immune to your own poison. Your poison breath can be avoided if the target is careful and holds their breath during the breath attack. This breath attack can also be countered by wind magic. Okay, can push it away, don't have to deal with it, but otherwise, could get under armor, can go under doors. There's a lot of places where this might be super effective. Tier 2, the poisonous gas you breathe won't disperse so easily. It will cling to the battlefield like a poisonous mist and linger for a good while. Just across the battlefield. I'm thinking like the WoW cinematic for the Wrathgate, just those plague cannons just kind of sitting there hovering for a while. Tier 3, the toxicity of your poisonous breath is extremely potent. It takes only 1 minute for it to kill. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Yeah, but I don't think I would get that one. Lightning breath. You can breathe lightning. You fire a single bolt of lightning that deals massive damage to organic targets, but it's hard to aim. It's slightly homing to metal objects and super effective against metal armor, but it can be deflected by non-metallic shields, like wooden shields. It can be deflected? Something about that seems wrong. It seems like it should splinter it, but you know what? Who am I to argue with fucking dragon breath magic? Tier 2. Your thunder breath forks out into multiple lightning bolts. As long as a lightning bolt strikes a victim who's wearing metal armor, your lightning breath will jump to hit yet another target, forming a chain of lightning bolts. I mean, if you're fighting a war, this is just horrible. They're just going to be absolutely fried. The lightning bolts from your breath will hit with a thunderous force that will send grown men flying. Non-metallic shields will explode into splinters if they are struck by your breath. The non-metallic magic shields would require multiple hits. Okay. That's pretty good, though. That seems like that's a super strong breath. I don't hate it. Acid breath. All right, now we're getting dirty. You can breathe acid. The corrosion of your acid will mostly inflict superficial damage to your victims. Here's acid in your face, you fine-ass bitch. Your acid is more effective against inorganic material. Its true value lies in its ability to dull weapons and break down armor. However, this process isn't instant. It will take some time for the corrosion to kick in after you apply the acid. That's pretty solid. Your acid is more potent. The strongest magical weapons and armor will fare no better than regular weapons and armor against your acid. The corrosion of your acid will also be faster. Mwah, that's fucked up. I know I saw Mana Breath before. It feels like it does that plus more. Your acid breath will instantly melt any inorganic material it comes into contact with. I wonder, I know it says it doesn't do much more to flesh or something, to organic material, but I mean, if it's instantly melting anything, which is fucking obscene, it's got to do something to people, right? Am I crazy? Am I crazy to think this would hurt somebody real bad? Let's see. All right, what do we got? The next one. The next one is Frost Breath. Here we go. Now we're getting the good stuff. Uno momento. Let me check one thing really quick. All right. Frost Breath. You can breathe frost. Your icy breath will chill your victims to the bone. It won't deal any massive damage, but your victims will be a lot slower and less agile once they have been dosed by your cold breath. Your breath is less effective against opponents with warm fur clothing like fur coats. Okay, base one, it's not too bad. If anybody's been, been in the frigid cold, you can't do much. You get some snow in your hands, your joints tense up. You can't really move them. The idea of fighting somebody so I've thought about this before, but like fighting like a Death Knight or something, a frost, anything, somebody with frost weapons where you're kind of smashing your sword against theirs, and every time you hit it, your fingers are chilled a little bit more. The cold seeps into you, or rather saps the heat from your hands. You're just unable to move. And if the other person is unaffected, they're going to be way more agile and feel way swifter, and it's going to be so hard to keep up. It's just going to wear you over time, and the longer it goes down, the worse it's going to be. Tier 2, your breath is even colder. It will now turn regular weapons and armor brittle. Killer. This breath attack will also create ice on your victims. This can effectively lock joints of your victim's armor. The ice created by this breath attack is a lot more durable than regular ice and melts much slower. I mean, everything I said about tier 1, but just fucking exponentially worse. Tier 3, this breath attack will fully encase your victims in ice. Okay, so my thought is that if you're going to get a breath attack for any of these, unless you're going for a non-build or non-breath build, then you're going to want to go for tier 3 regardless. So it's always going to be 10 points lower. That being said, I mean, obviously, I'm going to take that one. So let's see here. So we lost 40 for enormous. I remember that. So dragon info. Enormous minus 40. Breath attack minus 10. So right now, our Ember is down to 50, or 250. My math should be correct on that. Obviously, that one's not too hard. I know I'm American, but it's not too bad. All right, so 250. I feel like we've used up a lot of them already. Let's keep going. Energy breath. All right, I didn't understand what this was before. You can breathe energy. All right, kinetic force, maybe? Is that what this is? The energy of your breath will travel in a straight beam-like line, making it a breath attack with the longest range. The energy beam will hit with an impressive concussive force. It is best used against single targets. The breath attack is easily blocked by magical barriers. That makes sense. Yeah, it's you're basically Cyclops from your mouth. Let me see. All right. I don't hate it, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of what this would be used for. Let's continue on and see what the other two tiers are like. You're able to rotate your head a lot faster when you use this breath attack, making it less inefficient against larger groups of enemies. Okay, I dig it. Kind of like Godzilla or King Ghidorah, where you're just kind of like just mowing down people. However, it is much easier to dodge a thin tracing beam of energy than a large cone of fire. Fair, but if you're far back, it's okay. That's a lot cooler. I dig that. if you're not just like busting it hard. Tier 3. This breath attack gains an infinite range, and the energy will increase in power proportional to the distance it travels. What the fuck? Hold on. Will increase in power the distance. I mean, I guess because the logic behind this would have to be that you're constantly pumping out more energy, right? So you're pushing it with more force. It's going farther. It's going faster. So you fly up as high as you can, and you just just put holes through other dragons. I kind of dig it. I don't hate that one. Smoke breath. Okay, I've been excited for this one. These weird utility ones are interesting to me. Everything besides spirit. Smoke. You can breathe smoke. Your breath attack is not really an attack. It's a distraction that allows you to control the battlefield. You can spew forth thick clouds of smoke that will linger for a period of time. For example, you can use your breath to hide inside of a smoke cloud, to take cover from ranged attacks, or fire it at your opponent to limit their vision. Wind magic is an effective counter against this breath attack. Yeah, I mean, it is a straight up direct counter. That's a little rough. Tier 2. This breath attack is capable of creating much larger and denser smoke clouds. Inside these clouds, it's harder to breathe, making most creatures lightheaded. I love that. Something about just like how it's fucked up and it's almost evil. Just the idea of it's like World War One, right? You just all these like mustard gas bombs, or you're just choking people out. It's not that it's because it's cruel. I don't like that it's cruel, but I like the effectiveness and the sort of indirectness of it is what appeals to me. Tier 3. Your smoke clouds are so dense that it is impossible to breathe inside of them. Death by suffocation is a very real possibility. Your smoke breath will also cover a lot of ground, making it harder to escape your smoke clouds. That's pretty fucking great. Any sort of battlefield, large people, you're just kind of breathing these giant plumes of smoke everywhere. Hell, you could just make a nice little labyrinth for them, or just surround people and just, oh man, that'd be so fucked up, and just fall right on them. I really don't hate it. It seems a lot less useful than, energy breath, tier 3 fire breath, acid breath, lightning breath, definitely, but it's still pretty rad. Mana breath. You breathe raw mana. In this primordial state, the mana will look like blue flames. This breath attack will burn away any magic, spells, enchantment, curses, etc. comes with contact with. If any spellcaster is hit by your breath, they will lose some of their mana, but it will do nothing against anything non-magical. Their breath attack can be blocked by non-magical shields and simple cover. I dig it. I love the fact that it burns away curses. That seems like a benevolent thing to have, just as like a backup sort of magic, or a backup utility. Tier 2. This breath attack will burn any creature it comes into contact with that possesses it'll burn away. Will burn any creature it comes into contact with that possesses mana and uses their mana pool as fuel. Oh, your blue fire can only be extinguished once it runs out of fuel. Most humanoids don't possess any mana, only spellcasters do. God damn. I wonder how much does that fuck somebody up? Like, you're breathing this on someone, right? And it's like napalm. I wonder if you can make, if somebody has a curse, can you lighten the intensity of the flame so that it doesn't? So if a spellcaster had a curse and you blew it on them, you just kind of, instead of going like, you just kind of go like, just gently breathe, to only burn away the magic without, lighting them on fire. I imagine you should be able to do it with fire. Why not mana breath? The breath attack is extremely lethal to spellcasters. If they cast any spell while they're burning with raw mana, they will instantly explode and die. Holy fuck. That's a hell of a breath to have as a backup. Wind breath. God damn, that's intense. Wind breath. You could breathe condensed air. Unlike other breath attacks, this breath attack can't be channeled. This breath attack is a blast of condensed air that will unbalance, stagger, stun, knock back, or send your victims flying. Depending on what range you hit your victims, the closer they are, the stronger the effect. Okay. Highly effective against shields, but little to no damage. I dig it. I dig it. This breath attack, I'm assuming these next two, one of them's going to cut. I really hope one of them cuts. This breath attack is a lot stronger. Now deflects projectiles such as arrows, crossbow bolts, javelins, and even bolts from a ballista. Woo! Good luck getting the timing down on that, but still rad. It even deflects projectile spells like thrown fireballs or spirit fire wisp. The power of this breath attack at tier 3 is much more potent. At close range, it will deal enough damage to kill a humanoid at point blank range. Fuck me. It can also plow through and nullify any other breath attacks. That's pretty rad. That's... Hell, somebody's trying to breathe mana breath on you and you kind of pulse it back. Gets lodged in their throat. Can a dragon get hiccups if you wind breath their throat as soon as you do it? Is that a thing? Seems like it'd kind of be fucked up. But I would like to see that. Water breath. Hey, now we're getting to the one I was more interested in to see, like, how can you make water breath even with a condensed jet? How do you make that compare to, like, the beam, the energy beam, or the lightning? Like, how does it stack up? All right, water breath. You can breathe water. This breath attack isn't particularly powerful. It will deal little to no damage, but at most unbalance or stagger an opponent. A shield would nullify this breath attack. However, you can refill the daily limit of your water breath by drinking a large amount of water. Okay, that's an interesting bonus. That's where it stacks up. You're super not limited to, so if you're underwater, or at least you're near water a lot, that's just constantly blasting away. Tier 2, the stream of water you spew from your mouth is much more powerful. It can now stun and knock down enemies. It's also effective against shields and can push them aside. Okay, I mean, it's still from a dragon. Still seems pretty lame, but I guess we're going to get to the water jet for the last one. Your water breath is highly pressurized jet stream. It now has the ability to make superficial cuts to most material. It is good for causing bleeding and destroying delicate items such as strings, bows, and sails of ships. Fucking shock and surprise. Water breath sucks. I mean, cool, you can use multiple times. That I understand that's powerful, but like, to what end? And the end just doesn't seem like it competes. It seems like you could be a pirate and be kind of shitty to people, but you can breathe lava. So for lava breath, let's look at this bad boy right up here. Oh, it's a beautiful. I love just the art, seeing it melt. It's aesthetically gorgeous. You can breathe lava. You can't channel this breath attack. Every attack is more of a ball of lava that you spit. This breath attack is devastatingly powerful, able to liquefy magical and non-magical equipment along with its wearer. Woo! Even if someone would be able to survive the heat, they would be encased in molten stone. But it has the shortest range out of all of the different breath attacks. Makes sense. It is also the slowest, which makes it easiest breath attack to evade. The speed and range of the lava will be further decreased in cold temperatures. That's not terrible. Tier 2. This breath attack is now a stream of flowing lava that can be channeled. Oh, that's better than a loogie. I dig that a lot more, but it still seems like I can visualize it in my head. I see the open mouth and it's like, it's like a constant stream, and it's kind of like rolling out, and it's cool and it seems devastating, and if it touches you, you're fucked, but I don't love it. Tier 3, your lava burns much hotter. It is now more fluid-like, which allows you to travel further and faster. Okay, it's less globular. You can easily melt castles and walls with this breath attack. Okay, it's more like that one. It's more like the image. I can dig it. I'm thinking, what is it? If the fire intense one, like a jet, would be like that new Gojira movie with Fishzilla. Spirit breath. All right, you can breathe spiritual energy. The spiritual energy you breathe will damage the undead. It's more effective against undeads of smaller sizes. When used on the living, it will instantly moderately heal those hit by it. Oh, healing breath. The healing can close wounds, repair broken bones, and heal any injuries which could be naturally healed over time. Okay, I dig it. Tier 2. The healing properties of this breath attack become even more potent to the living. You will now be able to heal any kind of injury so long as the target is alive. Fuck yeah, that sounds rad. Tier 3. This breath attack is now extremely deadly to the undead. It is also able to revive the dead as long as there is anything left of their bodies, like bones or strands of hair. Wow. That's that'll last with you for a bit. So you can... I wonder how grateful people would be if you start bringing them a lot. Like some... That's not bad. Just armies of the dead. I wonder if you mix that with some sort of... I guess they would be alive. Extremely deadly to undead. You have a whole army of ancient warriors that you can bring. Be like, hey, by the by, your home's getting fucked by from other people. You might want to do something about that. Yeah, no, I mean, it's not like I'm buying anything here, but it's very interesting and potentially would make somebody change their mind. I like the idea of the Frost Breath, though. That is a build I'm going with. Just a giant fucking frost-breathing dragon. Let's go with page 3. With that, I'm going to get a drink of water because I am Mick thirsty. Goodness gracious. Let's see. Page 3. Bam. All right. Let's drop this bad boy down, yeah. Down over here. All right. Where are you going? Let's lift you up. Are you above all those other things? Yes, you are. All right. Golden. Let's make you bigger so we can make use of this huge screen, unlike before. All right. So whatever the fuck this blue thing is, these blue things, I think these other images. Oh, feel silly. All right. Features. Now we're getting to the good stuff. The mental image of your new body is beginning to take shape. God damn, we're just still building the dragon. We haven't even gotten to any of the stories yet. We're only on page 3. That's 11:30. God damn, how long have we been doing this? Oh, sorry. Beginning to take shape. It's so vibrant yet it lacks detail, like a rough sketch. It needs more features. Several bodily features come to mind as you try to shape the mental image of your new body. Scalings may only purchase muscles, roar, senses, breath, regeneration, magical resistance, elemental resistance, crawling, swimming, magic, brain, lungs, fertility, yada, 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 yada. We're not any of these small-time chumps. We're big-time chumps. No. I also do love the idea of this, that whole thing of like some people can't form mental images in their mind. I feel bad for them almost because it's such an interesting thing to do. What's the old saying? You can keep spinning around the cow in your mind and no one can stop you. Let's see here. And so I do love the choice of this being like the falling dragon, just thinking to itself as it's forming its own body in this meteoric fall. All right, so now we're getting the good stuff, the features. Oh, and we're getting the tiers. Oh, I'm an idiot for making it so big. We're gonna make it smaller again so you can read more of it. Muscles. Okay, so now we don't have anything. So let's take a quick gander, quick look-see back at some of the other. So what do we have with this? So if we're going for Western dragons, oh, you are still below. Do ho ho. Why aren't you moving? You son of a bitch. Okay, let me move you down here. Okay, here we go. Page 1. So we have wings tier 1. And how do I just get rid of you so I can make this easier for me. All right, window capture. I don't need it. Okay, dragon info. We have wings tier 1 so far. We get that. And then we get scales tier 2, which are red. Wings T1. Bop. And bop. Bop. And scales T2. That's got to be pretty good, right? I think so. Okay. Now, we have that on our side. This can fuck off. No, we're here. So, let's see what these do really quick. So muscles. We have muscles in the beginning. Your muscles are well developed. You are physically stronger than your average dragon and creature of your size class. Okay, that's not a bad one. Those physical confrontations. So I can just pick any of these, huh? Dope. Let's see, tier 2. Your musculature is impressive and beyond the majority of dragons of your size class. When it comes to brute force, you are vastly superior to other dragons and creatures that are of your same size class. I dig it. Ooh, tier 3. You possess strength similar to a demi-divine being. In battle of strength, you can defeat most dragons and creatures that are of one size bigger than you. If you are gargantuan, you will have the strength to overpower the physical avatar of a god. Goodness gracious. That's one of legend for sure. Like, that's long-lasting world legend. Scales. All right, scales. Let's see here. So definitely, if we do this, it's either like something like this. You really don't feel bad for purchasing any of the tiers. It almost feel bad to not get a single one. Scales. Okay, so scale. We don't have to. We're getting scales 2, but let's go. Scales 1, tier 1. Your scales are as hard as steel. While scales offer excellent protection against piercing and slashing, they are less effective against bludgeoning attacks. Your scales will absorb some of the impacts of bludgeoning attacks, but most of the force will go through. And of course, things like piercing and like fangs or like back end of like pickaxes will probably puncture through. Tier 2. Your scales are now as hard as mithril. Ooh. Only the strongest weapons and attacks can pierce or cut through your scales. Okay. So we get that by default because Western dragons are fucking dope. They're fantastic. Big, beautiful wings. Tier 3. Your scales are as hard as the mythical metal dragonite. Hardly any slashing or piercing attacks can harm you. Unless, of course, you get attacked somewhere your scales don't protect you, like your eyes or inside of your mouth. Damn. Okay, so let's. I have to make another text thing. So what we'll do here is we'll call this considerations, and we'll make that font. We'll give that the old. No, that's way too. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's meet somewhere in the middle, shall we? 26 considerations. So put that over here. We'll make this bad boy a little smaller so we can be somewhat reasonable with our picks. Which CYO is this? This is Dragonfall by the sideways. This is Dragonfall by Tokhaar. I think we can see that here if you're interested. It's pretty solid, at least so far. Some people aren't a fan, but they're not here right now. Dragonfall, right there. Patow. All right. Yes, so considerations. So I am considering, let's rename this to that, actually. Consider, but. And then we're going to rename, not rename, I just did that. Haha. Double click it, perfect. So we're going to go tier 3 scales, that's 10, and then we'll sum the rest underneath it. But it's something worth keeping. Wings. We have 1. You have the power to fly. Taking off from the ground is rather slow and requires some effort. Initiating a flight will leave you vulnerable for a brief moment. It would be easier for you to jump off a cliff or some other place in order to take off in the skies. So I could see it, like the image you see right there. You take just big, slow, massive, almost ponderous, like gusts to get you in the air until you can kind of ride your current going up and down, something like that. That seems to be like what I would think of it starting. Tier 2. Your wings are much stronger than average dragon's wings. You can quickly and efficiently take off from the ground. Okay, so quick flying up. I dig that. I feel like it might be worth taking tier 2. And tier 3, your wings are some of the strongest wings dragon kind. With the flap of your wings, you can create powerful gusts of wind that can deflect projectiles like arrows, throwing knives, and javelins of crossbows. Yep. No worries, sideways. I'm thinking maybe. I really want to see like what else I could spend my stuff on, but at a bare minimum, I'm glad I at least have one. And I'm gonna say maybe I'm gonna consider doing. We will consider what is that, 5? So T2 wings. Oh, silly. 5. All right. So we have those there. Obviously, like I feel like I'd want to get tier 3 for a lot of these, but it's not a lot you can do. Jaws. Your fangs are hard as steel. While a biting attack is the attack with the shortest range a dragon can make, it is also one of the deadliest attacks if it connects. Capable of piercing skin, rending flesh, and crushing bone, biting attacks are best used against powerful enemies. It is not often worth the effort to bite weak enemies when you can use your claws or tails, which are generally faster with longer reach. Your fangs are as hard as mithril, and your bite is even stronger for tier 2. In tier 3, your fangs are as hard as dragonite. If they weren't, they would never be able to withstand the tremendous amount of force your jaws are able to produce. Interesting. I can see that, because like because we're thinking big, right? We're not thinking of this low scale. How do we deal with a yeti, or how do we deal with hell, even like it's another giant magical creature. We're not dealing with wyverns here. We're not dealing with I don't know, any of these low tier chumps. We're thinking big scale, massive legendary dragons who would also be able to, warriors who have dragonite armor, who might be able to pierce your skin. So if our scales are as hard as dragonite, we want to get weapons that can deal with this sort of thing. So I'm thinking like something like claws or tails would be more in the range of what, because it's strong, and it's really strong for maybe the 1v1 battle, but when you open your mouth, since we're scales tier 3, you're making an entire vulnerable point to yourself, when really it's only your eyes and your asshole are probably the only things you have to worry about. Claws. Requirements. Non-worm, non-sky serpent. We don't have to worry about that because, baby, we got hands. I hope these are retractable. Your claws are as hard as steel. Your claws can slash and pierce through most natural armor, such as thick leather, hide, carapaces, and scales. Claw attacks have a lot longer reach than bite attacks and are great for close combat, grappling, and aerial combat. Let's see. Tier 2. Your claws are as hard as mithril. Now your claws have no problem cutting through and piercing most metal armors. Tier 3. Your claws are as hard as dragonite. There's hardly anything your claws can't cut or pierce. So, now that's what I'm talking about. So, with scales, so if those other ones, if one can deal with that, I imagine that tier 3 is now able to cut through scales. I dig that a lot, and I really, I feel like it's worth it for the 15. Let's see if there's anything else. Because I really kind of want to build that like wonderful defense and an offense that can just really fuck everything else up. Which obviously who wouldn't, but tail. Your tail is prehensile. Oh, Lord. It can grab and manipulate objects. It can also be used during grappling to choke, grab, and hold or restrain your enemies. The bone structure of your tail for tier 2 is robust and strong. It can withstand heavy impacts and be used as a weapon. A tail attack is the melee attack with the longest reach a dragon can make. Tail attacks are especially useful against multiple smaller opponents or a single similar-sized enemy. Tier 3, you have some kind of natural weapon on the tip of your tail, which is as hard as dragonite. For example, it could be multiple spikes, a stinger, or bone club. I can definitely see having like a poison spike on it, why that would be useful. The range is not bad either, but I'm gonna put claws for the moment. Just for the moment. Let's not get crazy. We're gonna consider claws tier 3, so that's gonna be 15 if I'm correct. Yep. So tier T3 claws, and we got 15. So altogether, simple maths. We're gonna end that up to right. All right. So we got 30. We're going up. Horns. I feel like I should skip it, but we're going to do it for the sake of continuing, because it's probably, I mean, horns aesthetically are fantastic, don't get me wrong, but just the idea of actually using them for anything practical outside of like intimidation doesn't really seem like it, or channeling something. You have horns that are as hard as steel. Your skull is also reinforced to withstand heavy impacts. Headbutts. The horn can look however you want. Forward, upward pointing horns for better charging enemies and headbutts, while backwards pointing horns are great for stabbing attacks during grappling and defensive attacks during neck bites. That's actually a good point. That's a very good point. Charge attacks are devastating and work very well as an opening attack during aerial and land and underwater. Aerial, land. Okay, you could just say during. I suppose they're trying to specify. Sure, during aerial, land, and underwater combat. Your horns are as hard as Mithril for tier 2, and your horns are as hard as Dragonite. If you hit somebody with a solid, click something else. If you hit someone with a solid charge, you can punch through any kind of armor and impale them with your horns. Honestly, I really, the defensive argument is kind of, it's not selling me enough that I want it, but it is making me think they're less useless. Spikes. You have spikes growing out of your body. These spikes are as hard as steel. Your spikes are great defense against large enemies like monsters and dragons. If they try to bite, tackle, grapple, or maul you, they risk getting impaled on your spikes. Of course, they could always aim for parts of your body that aren't covered in spikes. But then you won't have to protect your entire body, making it easier to protect their attacks. That is not a bad point, honestly. Your spikes are as hard as Mithril for tier 2, and your spikes are as hard as Dragonite. At this hardness, they are able to pierce some of the strongest carapace, scales, hide, shells, and even magically enchanted armor. I mean, listen, think about it. The idea of like becoming a giant spiked ball just charging into somebody, just totally covered in them, flying, it'd be fucked up. I mean, I think it's pretty rad. Just this giant spiked mass, and really, what else can fuck with you? What was this old, the old Godzilla ones with, I think his name started with an A. He's like this giant armadillo thing. He'd spin up together and think of doing something stupid like that. I don't think it would work, but it's, I'm not considering it enough to put it on the list, but I am considering it in the back of my brain more than horns or any of these other ones, just because of the sheer utility in any sort of fight. Venom. You have venom glands connected to either your fangs or your stinger. Requires tail 3. Fair. Your venom will exhaust your victims, making the mess with their senses of balance and make them nauseous. Your venom can only be cured by spells of a similar tier of your venom. You're immune to your own venom. Oh boy, what is that saying up there? Up y'all. Let's see. Chatterino. Let's see. I'm late, but if you're uncertain about what breath attacks take, you can spend 25 more points on the rare feature multiple breaths. Controlled mutations 15 to evolve whatever breath attacks you want. I'm probably not going to take multiple. Consider it later, but you're not wrong. I'm definitely taking the and controlled mutation. We haven't gotten to the mutations yet. I think, like I said before, I've been through this once months ago when it was like in like a 0.0 something. So we'll see. Venom. Okay, so we got that. You're immune to your own venom. It fucks with them, makes them all delirious. Not bad. Tier 2. Your venom is now more powerful. It can now paralyze any creature up to 2 sizes bigger than your own. But your venom is now slow acting and will take up to 30 minutes to work. You could speed up the process by injecting your enemy with more venom. Okay. It's once again, I'm cautious on using any sort of bite attacks, although they're powerful. Just the idea of opening such a weak spot to yourself, unless you're going to have something coming out of there, right? Your venom is extremely dangerous and fast-acting, taking only a few minutes to kill your victims. That's not bad, though. If you got a spike or really anything that can inject it, it's I wouldn't, I'm not considering it. All right, feathers. Required wings. Your wings are covered in feathers. This will make you more of a silent flyer. However, feathers are flammable. If your feather coat is badly damaged, you will temporarily lose the ability to fly. Huh. Well, that's obviously something I wouldn't want to take if I was relying on the feathers. I was thinking of them as like ancillary to the wings, like they're just like an aesthetic thing beneath the leathery scaled wings. But no, if that's a requirement when getting feathers, this is a non-starter. Requires flight tier 2. 20 to 30% of your body is also covered in feathers, not counting your wings. Your feathers make you more aerodynamic, but the areas where you're covered by feathers cannot be covered by scales or fur. Get fucked. Your feathers now coat up to 40 to 100% of your body. I imagine this just makes you super fast if you wanted some sort of weird aerodynamic thing. Fins. Gain elemental resistance tier 1 by heat. Okay, I'm trying to think of anybody understand the logic of that? Why this makes you more heat resistant? You have large fins in your body. These fins help cool your body down. Okay, well, that makes sense in hot environments. However, your fins are somewhat fragile and can be damaged by sharp objects like fangs, claws, or swords. If your fins are badly damaged, you'll lose all features which you gain from this feature. Okay, swimming, that makes sense. You're more hydrodynamic, able to swim. And tier 2, your fins are not only make you better able at swimming, but also make you more silent swimmer. This seems great for a different build. Not super crazy about it. Fur. Elemental resistance tier 1 to cold. 20 to 30% of your body is covered in fur. Your fur insulates your body and protects you against cold environments. Your fur is flammable, and if your fur coat is too badly damaged, you'll temporarily lose all features that you gain from this feature. Areas of your body can't be covered. Non-starter. We're not doing it. We need the scales. Love the scales. 45%, tier 3. 60 to 100% of your body. Some protection against slashing weapons. That's such a horrible... like, unless you're going for a smaller, like, specialized thing, I don't know why. We're once again, big time. We're thinking legendary, just giant monster. Roar. Your roar is really loud. It can easily scare away creatures of a smaller size class than you. Your roar is less effective against intelligent creatures like humanoids. Fair, but that's got to do a decent amount of intimidation. Your roar is terrifying. It now scares away creatures of a similar size to yours. Damn. Even intelligent creatures will cower before your fear-inducing roar. Yeah, I bet. Let's see. Tier 3. Your roar is the stuff of nightmares. Only the bravest of souls will be able to resist dropping whatever they are doing and running away. Even while directly facing a larger creature, your roar will be able to scare away creatures of one size bigger than you. God damn. Imagine, so if you're gargantuan and you get tier 3 roar, they would have to be magically boosted to even, look you in the eye. Right? I'm trying to think of a situation in which you roar at them with tier 3 and gargantuan, and they don't just shit themselves immediately. And I'm talking other gargantuan dragons. Which, how many can there really be, honestly? I know we're only enormous. I'm just getting a little big for my britches, but I'm considering it. That extra 40 just is painful. Senses. You can choose one sense. Smell, touch, sight, hearing, or taste. Your chosen sense is equal to the best humanity has ever produced. You may purchase this feature multiple times, choosing a new sense each time. Okay. It's weird that dragons don't get that by default, but here we are. Your chosen sense is equal to the best animal kingdom has ever produced. Tier 2. This costs 4. One tier, it doesn't seem bad. You have 5 for everything. You're not bad. It seems weird. I don't know. It seems like you should get this, but we'll see. Tier 3. Your chosen sense is enhanced to the point of supernatural. For example, your chosen sight, you'll be able to switch between different vision modes like infrared vision, telescopic vision, X-ray vision, etc. You would also be able to see through visual illusions. That's not bad. That's not bad. So you got to think about all of the other ones too, right? Your touch, your sense of touch if you're on the ground at all. Hell, even in the wind. What is it? Having tier 3 touch in the wind, you'd feel like the different wind currents breaking from how far away. If you're able to listen, if your sense of sight is so powerful that you can see through illusions. I don't see why you wouldn't be able to feel the shifts of air currents and be able to feel other dragons coming through or something like that. Being able to like deal with that level of ridiculousness. Let's see. Hearing, I mean, like that's like hearing have sex. Fucking no. Nerd. Gross. Get the fuck out of here. Have sex? Absolutely not. Think of all the wizard powers I'd lose. Let's see. Sight, smell. What would you smell? I mean, you'd smell like the pheromonal difference, the sweat, the everything else from a person. Like you'd hear their heartbeats, and I wonder, like, how. They only really give you an example for the baseline of sight, which I get it, but it's kind of an interesting question. Like, you taste the air. What would you taste? That seems. This is the problem, because senses. There's debates on the different sort of how many senses we have, and I don't know. I'm probably not gonna take this one anyway, so it's just worth thinking about. There might be some other ones, and like how much does taste influence your smell and vice versa. I can imagine if you get both of those, you get like some intense sinus thing. Breath. Let's see. Breath. Tier 1. Most dragons use their breath attack sparingly and only against powerful opponents. They can't afford to waste their breath attack, as a lot of them can only use it 3 times per day. However, you can manage 6 times per day. You've got your cardio, your stamina's up, your refractory period's way smaller. Tier 2. You are now able to use your breath attack up to 12 times per day. 12 times is quite a large number of breath attacks that few dragons can manage. Tier 3, 25, you can use your breath attack up to 50 times per day. Only a greater dragon can manage such a feat. Damn. 50 times per day, you're just going nonstop. Yeah, I guess. I mean, I'm just trying to think of the breath attack that we have. You're freezing everything 50 times. How many are we giving up for that, though? That's 10, 15. Man, 35 points. That's quite a bit for that. Maybe if I was a Hydra and I had a ton of heads, that'd make more sense. Okay. Regeneration. This one is gonna that's gonna cost you. You can regrow lost limbs. You don't scar. Most of your wounds heal within a day. Injuries caused by acid or fire take twice as long to heal. Regeneration will slow down poisons and venoms, but it won't make you immune to them. Tier 2, most of your injuries will heal within 1 hour, making it impossible for you to lose consciousness or die due to blood loss. Excuse me. It is also possible for you to bleed yourself in order to cleanse your body of Tier 1 venom. Tier 3, as long as you're alive, your regenerative powers are strong enough to heal any injury within 1 minute. Fuck me. Okay. I mean, listen, I'm not. Listen, I don't want to be a min-maxer here, but it seems like this seems to be. If we're going for this, big dick sort of dragons, I don't think we have a choice. Kind of forced into this. 30 points. 60. Oh man, we're not going to have anything left for like weirder shit down the line. Okay. Magical resistance. Oh boy, here we go. These sort of things it's going to fuck us. Magical resistance tier 1 costs 15. Hostile magics such as spells, magical weapons are 25% less effective against you. Tier 2. Hostile magics such as spells are 50% less effective against you. Tier 3, 30. This is 60 things. You are immune to magic and cannot be directly affected by it. This includes healing magics. Oh, and positive spells. Oh, Myoa. Your magic immunity won't impede your own ability to cast magics unless, of course, you're planning to cast spells on yourself. Whenever you are hit by a spell, you absorb a small portion of the mana, which will be used to cast the spell. That's cool, but, like, I mean, I suppose if you have tier 3 regeneration, if you want to spend 90 points on being this giant unkillable cancer machine, it's not a bad idea. I don't know. I have to put it in like big T question mark magic riz question mark. I don't know. I don't know what I would... What is it, like 15... Or I guess it'd be 15, 30, 90, right? Or say 60. Do I not have my... Oh, yeah. I'm retarded. 60. So those would be the 3. It's too much. Elemental resistance. Choose one element: heat, cold, poison, venom, acid, wind, lightning. You are able to survive and thrive in environments where your chosen element is dominant. For example, heat would allow you to live in deserts, jungles, volcanoes, landscapes. You may purchase this feature multiple times. You are now completely immune to any kind of elemental damage of your chosen element. When you are exposed to your element, you'll be healed proportionally for the intensity of the exposure. Well, this is interesting. This is real interesting. So I wonder, could we go and negate regeneration? And I'm not saying I want to do this, but I'm saying, could we negate regeneration and then just, okay, what would the cost be? We do a little quick calculator math here. How many of these? So 3, 15, and then 20. So we get cold, obviously, but wind, right? So we spend 20 on wind. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to just get healed by wind. You fly up. If you're on the ground, I mean, you're constantly being exposed to air, right? Unless you're fighting in the ocean. When in that point, wind and water? No, see, that doesn't make any goddamn sense. Because it would just be elemental resistance to the cold generated by... Okay, quick question. Does if you get cold resistance, are you getting... would you be healed by the chill of the air sapping the heat from your body as it's going past, right? Because I imagine, what's the difference with that? Like, are you just being buffeted by the wind with that, or like, is it magic? Because I guess, okay, hold on. If it's just magic, well, okay, I'm sorry, you're in the cold white north. Do you just get both? Is it like a Venn diagram where it's overlapping? Because I don't quite understand. Is cold only if you're just sitting on ice, or is it like a Venn diagram? It's also ice. And wind is like cold wind plus hot wind. That would make sense. Okay. If you're getting like a hot arid wind from the desert and it's buffeting you with like sand from a sandstorm, you would get healed from that despite the sort of bullshit in the air. It's probably not to intensity, so normal, non-deadly cold, probably not too. It's proportional. Okay. Yeah, no. That makes sense. That's a good point. I could see that. Yeah, doesn't seem worth it. You really got to get that regen. But the resistance, though, not for nothing, but like that cost of 3? 5? I mean, like, listen, I hate humid weather. I hate the heat. Dry heat's okay, but like, I'll take 3 just so I don't have to be miserable in the heat. I'll deal with the pain of acid or venom or whatever, or lightning. You can shock me up. But just, if I'm going to go to tic-tac-toe, I don't want to deal with the heat. So let's say, I'm going to consider 2 things. You're completely immune to your sort of elemental damage. Is fire strong against ice? Like an ice creature? I guess I don't... I'm trying to think of what would really fuck me up. Sorry, I gotta double click this. So consideration for T1 Elderias. We're gonna do 3. So 3 times 2 cold and heat, and then T2 T2 Elderias 12 times 2. It's going to be cold and heat, because I feel like being totally resistant to giant magma breath and fire breath seems like a pretty good thing, right? Like, I can see where electricity, like the sheer force and the plasma of it, you're not going to be totally resistant to it, but the heat of it, the heat of that shit burning through you, that's got to take some of the edge off, right? So I'm not, because that's what's, and like magma, that's going to help with that. That's heat. But we're hitting 12, that's 24, 24 plus 6, an extra 30. Fuck me. Hold on. 90. Oh, God damn it. We're hitting all sorts of stuff. This hurts. This hurts. I haven't even added them up yet, but like these are the ones that I'm kind of more certain on. All right, flight. What would I do here? Did we not do flight already? Am I crazy? Oh no. Oh no, those were wings. Oh, the feathers. Okay. You can take fins for 1 point, get T1 heat and stuff. With regeneration, it won't affect or ever be a problem where you won't have it. The only problem is you think it's ugly on Western Dragon. That's fair. I mean, hey, that's a goddamn good point. It would cool you off, wouldn't it? How ugly would that? I mean, we're looking at one right now. That's a Western Dragon. Do we think this looks ugly? When I say we, I mean me, but you know, the royal we. It looks aquatic. I gotta say, it looks aquatic. Fragile, can be damaged. I mean, at that point, yeah, like you say, it's gonna regenerate. That's a fucking fine, good point. I'm really glad I did this stream because I'm not seeing that when I'm doing it normally. I really wouldn't have considered fins. I would have overlooked that. I don't hate it. But it does kind of look fugly. So it is worth at least taking note of, right? This is the consider notebook. And we'll do, how do we do this? Heat. We'll do, oh, there we go. Maybe T1 fin? Or we'll just let that go off the screen. We don't need to block up the rest of this for that one, but that's definitely a good point. Man. No, you can fuck right back there. My goddamn OBS. Okay, so flight. Requirement: wings, wingless flight. What else do we have here? Oh, I have wings. I don't have flight. You're able to fly, however, you're not very graceful or fast in the air. This is... Oh, no, it requires wings. Hold up. Hold on. Do we get this with... This is weird. Do I have to rebuy tier 1 flight for wings? No. I gotta see that. That's gotta give it to you, right? Wings gives you... Yeah, see? Thank you. With just gracias, mi amigo. Wings gain tier flight 1. See? This is... Considerations. I already have wings. Oh, tier... God. Sometimes it's hard being retarded. Sometimes you don't... Okay. That makes sense. Let's keep grooving. Tier 2. You are much faster and more agile during flight. You can outmaneuver and run circles around most flying creatures of your own size. Size class beyond. Ooh. War machines like ballistas and catapults have a much harder time hitting you. 15. You're extremely graceful and fast in the air. You would be hard-pressed to find any creature who can even match even half of your aerial speed and maneuverability as long as they aren't more than one size class below you. Here's the issue. I love the idea of being massive and fast. I do. I really... you need to understand. Please understand. However, I don't know if this is where we're going to want to put points into. I just don't know if that's what... The legend doesn't have to be... Oh, maybe. No. This legend doesn't have to be quick. Imposing, powerful, unstoppable is kind of what I'm thinking. Just this massive bulk. However, an extra 10 is worth considering. Having the size belie the speed is all I'm saying. This is T2. We'll get into the calculations. Flight, 10 points. All right. I don't want it to. We can't afford 25 for this flight, but we can maybe spare 10. The fact that we can fly at all is worth having. All right, crawling. Most dragons are rather slow and clumsy on ground. Unlike most dragons, you are a fast runner. You can match the speed and size. I don't know about that. I don't know about this. 2, you're dexterous. You can climb trees, navigate through terrain, and dodge attacks from bigger creatures. It's not gonna. I know I have enormous. You are much more agile, nimble while on land. Your uncanny agility makes it much easier for you to land and avoid attacks from creatures as long as you aren't more than one size class below you. Having a speed that would belie your size would also be interesting. Sort of being able to, like, they see this giant mountain ahead of them, like a mile away, and then, like, 10 seconds later, it's a couple yards away, and she's like, oh no. That was quick. Oh, it's kind of like, oh man, what is it? I'm trying to think. Maybe it was Terraformars. Those giant, those urban beetles are just like terrifyingly quick. But I don't know. Swimming. Most dragons can't swim. You can swim, but you're rather slow and ungraceful in the water. Being able to swim can save you from drowning. Can also bring you fights to the water to drown your enemies. I do not like the idea of having a biome in which I'm just straight up like, you really want to cover. I understand if you what's the phrase? If you defend everything, you defend nothing. But having such a horrible weakness like that, to where the only other gigantic beasts are from the ocean, right? You really have to be able to show them up, and I think with tier 1 swimming, that's what's going to be. That's what's going to do it. Let's see, tier 1. That's 5. God, it's like nickel and diming you, man. Nickel and diming you. I hate it. You can swim with similar speeds and agility of aquatic creatures similar size. It's not going to happen. You can navigate through water gracefully and fluidly. You're much faster than any creature of your size has any right to be. I do like that, but no, we're not having that. Digging. Terrifying and delightful. You bury your body in the sand or gravel up the span of 1 minute, able to hide. There's no hiding. We're not hiding. Camouflage while sleeping. I mean, this I guess would be because you're growing, right? We're starting very small, we're coming as an egg, and then we're going to be bigger. You can move and shift your body through the sand, earth, gravel as if you were swimming. The movement is rather slow. It is best used to sneak up on unsuspecting prey. However, you need to some kind of navigate senses, eyeless sight. You're able to move through sand for tier 3, earth like a fish in water. That is interesting, but we're not doing that. Sorry, I don't mean to be so quick, but it's just, we already know. Magic. All right, not every dragon has a mana pool or is able to cast spells. You have a mana pool with similar capacity to a low-level spellcaster. Your grasp of magic is rather rudimentary and leaves much to be desired, as you can only cast tier 1 spells, but being able to use magic at all is a great advantage. Now, this is the question. Are we a physical force of nature, or are we a celestial god being? Now let's take a look at this here. Tier 2, 60 out the ass. I don't know, being huge. I don't know. Your mana pool is now similar to that of a mid-level spellcaster. You can cast up to tier 2 spells. Your mana pool is beyond any mortal creature. It is vast, seemingly endless, but far from infinite. You are capable of casting up to tier 3 spells. You are a pinnacle of arcane might and the ability to weave spells of unfathomable power, spells that are even beyond the grasp of even the mightiest mortal spellcasters. So here is where the rubber meets the road, in that we have to make a choice. And I do not think that if we want to be a master of the arcane, to be a force of nature, you have to be physically indomitable. But to be a magical, to fight the gods, right? I've seen the demigod thing above, and well, I don't know. They have even higher than I can imagine a dragon would be, but you could become a god. Do we even, is being a god what we're looking for? Or are we just enjoying the supremacy of the mortal realm? That might be what it is. Because magic, we'd have to go a size down, and we would have to be totally focused on magic and having an anti-magic breath and do that from the beginning. And that's not what this is. This is pure. This is true. This is majesty. This is might. This is the physicality of it all. Oh God, the Bard needs to put out more videos. Brain. You can learn things twice as fast, and your long-term memories improve significantly. Oh fuck, these sort of things. Like, so now this is where it fucks me, because this would probably help in your I bet you the more of these is going to be great. So this would be an absolute necessity if you were to go with magic, but for the physicality, who knows? And the question is, do we even... Also, if we take tier 1 magic, because I'm still kind of on that, some tier 1 spells are strong, like Bestow Immortality, Alter Size of Mind. Even if you don't buy any points, you could still get points from buying tier 1 magics and then take Magic Dunce, draw back for net 2. Okay, I'm going to look at this comment again later on, just as another point. I don't know. Yeah, but because I'm also worried about, though, are we opening ourselves to a vulnerable... +2. Are we opening ourselves to a vulnerable weak point by having mana at all for +20? Oh, okay. Well, that'd be interesting. +20. Fuck. you got me all confused. A vulnerable point for like the mana breath, right? For burning away the mana in our body and presuming N tier fighting another magical dragon with our sheer physicality, that seems like a pretty vulnerable weakness, because like by the end game you'd have a relatively large, even for being a novice, right? An elder dragon, a giant elder dragon with even the most rudimentary magic must have, like, compared to mortals, a very strong, pretty big pool of magic. And so I would just be concerned that might be a vector of attack. So, but we'll see. Maybe the magical dunce does something to fuck with your thing, or you don't have a magic pull at all. We'll see. Brain. So we learn things twice as fast, and long-term memories improved. Very important. You'd think that normal dragons would get that, but I suppose if you're dealing with wyverns and other things, and like drakes, salamanders, they don't really have that. Tier 2, you're able to process information faster and have perfect memory. You can recall any memory in perfect detail while concentrating. You can even enter a state where your mind to relive those memories. I dig it. Tier 3, your mind is expanded. Your intellect is now vastly superior to the greatest thinkers, philosophers, spellcasters, schemers, and rulers. Your mind is so complex and eldritch that it is beyond the effects of mind-altering spells like illusion, mind control, psychic attacks, emotional manipulation, and similar mind magic. That is very good. That is super good, and something that I always think about when I do CYOAs is the question is, when you get something that alters your mind, tier 1 and tier 2 having perfect like edict memory and faster processing, that would change you as a person, the dragon, whoever you are reading it and playing it, because it's your IQ going up, your ability to process, and your intellect is, at least in my understanding, is your ability to process information in a usable way, right? And so that's kind of relatively fixed. You could maybe do it with some skills for certain things, but that's there. So I wonder how much of your personality changes even by getting tier 2. So tier 3, so my main point is that becoming this vastly superior thinker is like, are you just another person? Like, sure, it's you evolved, I guess, as another person, but like, is that who you want to be as this? Do you want to play this as you, or do you want to play this as this part of you? Implying you don't already have a tier 3 galaxy fucking... Oh yeah, right? Sorry. My god, I'm a Luddite. I don't know, gonna move to the forest, break all the... We don't do any of the... See, I'm so dumb I can't even remember textile mills. We just break those. Everything went downhill once we got the textiles. So I'm going to say I will consider, and this is one of those really good considerations in that I kind of want it, but I need to see what else is happening. Tier 3 big brain. And that's going to be 40. Oh, it hurts. Janice, it hurts. Tongue, yeah, baby. You have a long, retractable prehensile tongue. Your tongue can move very quickly and is adept at catching prey of small size, which you might normally be too swift and too nimble for you. Oh my god, how fucked up is that? Just the idea of like this giant, hell, even an enormous creature, just Deathwing, a giant dragon with a tongue that comes out, and it's like he's staying statuesque still, perfectly still, and this just massive, constantly unrolling tongue is just darting back and forth, going and grabbing people up, strangling them, smacking them down. There was this, when I was in high school, I read this Christopher Moore novel. It was called Fluke, and it was about these marine biologists going about whales. And there's one passage that always stuck with me. It was one of the women was going and researching, I believe, sperm whales or humpback whales. And one of the whales, when they mate, they have this really interesting thing where they go on their backs. And the whale's dick is so large that it goes up and over on their backs above the water, and they fuck side by side. And what had happened was their boat was right next to it, and this giant whale schlong gets on the board and starts smacking all the female researchers about, and like one like disconnects this chick's cornea because she just gets totally like sideswiped by this whale cock. It's absolutely fucked up, and it really really informed who I am as a person. Oh man, he blocked me on Twitter years ago. It was really funny. But yeah, no, so that's what I'm thinking with this tongue. Tier 2, 5. Your tongue is tough and elastic, making it resistant against piercing and bludgeoning attacks. Your tongue is also covered in a slippery slime that makes spears, clubs, and similar weapons slip and slide off your tongue. The end of your tongue, which is used for catching prey, is not covered in the slime. I can't, like, part of me loves this idea. It's so fucked up. It's so great. Okay, you can launch your tongue in a straight line at incredible speed, similar to a toad or chameleon. The tip of your tongue is covered in a coat of sticky slime, which will make your prey stick to your tongue. That's so fucking fantastic. What is this, 20? 20 for a... I don't like calling jokes memes, but like, just, I can see it. I can see so many things coming from it. It's so great. Lungs. Okay, so... I need another thing for like secondary consideration. We're not going to do it, but it's in the back of my mind. Lungs. By default, you would not be able to hold your breath you would be able to hold it for about 30 seconds while doing a physical demanding activity. With this, you can safely hold your breath for up to 2 minutes while doing physically demanding activities like fighting. This may not seem very useful, but being able to hold your breath in high altitude aerial battles, fighting against dragons with poison breath, or underwater battles makes a huge difference. Did I get immunity to that anywhere? No. That seems like a pretty big weak spot. This is too much. God damn it, it's buying insurance. I fucking hate insurance. Tier 2, you can now safely hold your breath 30 minutes. Tier 3, your lung capacity is extremely vast. You're able to safely hold your breath for up to 1 hour while doing anything physical. An hour... Swimming gives you... And it's only for underwater. This worries about the other one. And then I can imagine fighting things underwater can easily take over an hour and be super exhausting. This is 20... Tier 3, 20 lungs. God, this is lame. So lame. Necessary, but super fucking lame. Tier 3 lungs. Boo. Boo earns. Fertility. Oh shit, here we go. Alright. A lot of dragons are infertile, which is one of the contributing factors to why dragons are so rare. By default, you would be infertile. With this, you'd be capable of reproduction, although it may take a lot of attempts since you aren't the most fertile. It's all the microplastics and whitey tighties. Your fertility is akin to that of elves. Your offspring will look similar to you, but they will be a lot weaker. Oh yeah, this is the only one I remember from the other thing. You are much more fertile than the majority of dragons. Your fertility is similar to humans. Okay, that's 10, and then 40. You control your fertility. Sex can guarantee impregnation. This is a fetish. You can mold and shape them. Fetish, 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 fetish. Unlike you, children only get 100 embers. I don't... This hurts. This hurts me. This hurts me so much. And I say that because part of being a legend would be having like a brood of offspring, right? So consider... So let's see. We are going to consider, what is it, fertility? Okay, I'm going to move to the next one, then I'm going to do the math real quick. So tier 1, who's going to gas choke a castle-sized dragon? You don't go in the water or fly somebody breathing smoke. Just don't go in the water. Listen, but okay. Gas choke, totally fair. That's a good fucking point. I think you could just breathe out most of it. And I mean, I don't know what if there's like a gargantuan gas breathing or hell, enormous even gas breathing dragon, that would be an interesting fight. But you say don't go into the water or fly. There's a whole lot of being this big. You have to have gigantic balls. And you really can't back down to something like this. So, speaking of gigantic balls, fertility. So we're definitely going to do 3. And then potentially 30. 30 for brood. Okay, now let's check the next page. And then see if we can... God damn you. Alright, rename page 4. Excuse me, that was probably very loud for you. I apologize. God damn, only page 4 of 10. Oh, boy. Alright. Rare features. See, this is... I knew it. I remember going through this a long time ago and being like, wow, there's a lot to consider here. And then it became so much worse. Why is this not letting the page go down? What are you doing, OBS? You know what? Why must you... How are you locked? Let's not lock you. Come on. Oh, can I just do this? Yeah, you son of a bitch. You won't let me drag, but you let me do this. Okay. So, rare features. Let's try this. And then we'll do some math, unless we see something else. Were those all the different features? No. Those you remembered were common features among dragons, but there are rare features that few dragons possess, yes. You can recall them now. Scalings may purchase legendary features, Broodlord, phenomena, blah, 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 blah. We'll get to them. Fusion Breath. You can now purchase a secondary breath attack. Your breath attacks will now become a fusion of your first and second breath attack. All tiers of breath attacks that are associated with your chosen color cost 1 less ember. Okay, for your second breath attack. I don't know if I... shit. What time is it? I'm not going to dox myself, but damn, it is a time. Let's see. Fusion. There's so many things you could do with this. With Fusion Breath. Wind, magic. God, there's a lot of them. It's got some think on. But I'm going to say no. No, just for right now. Hybrid species. Choose a second species. You become a hybrid of your first and second. Dragon is common. Hybrid. Yeah, we're not doing that. We don't need no stinking hybrids. Legendary features. Ooh, this is one I was considering. Okay, choose one tier 3 option which you have purchased. Your chosen tier 3 option is now a tier 4 and has legendary characteristics. For example, your breath 100 times a day, your scales are indestructible, and your muscles can overpower creatures twice your size. Now, thinking about it. I'm getting excited. It's so stupid, but I can't help it. So, this would be 40 for scales, tier 4 scales. Indestructible. My eyes are literally the only weakness. At that point, legendary features. Man, one's, I'm thinking, let's see, T4 scales, and then, son of a bitch, 30. Oof. Oh, what is it, 40? Yes, 30, thank God. I think we're still fucked. Amphibious. You can breathe both on land and water. This can be used to escape from threats from land and sea, fleeing into the environment your pursuers can't breathe in. Or you can use it offensively and drag people in there. It's 5. When I give 10 to be able to just... I mean, swim lets you go down there. You don't have to worry about that. What would I need? I think we're fine with whatever. Right? Swims allows us to do that. If you take T4 scales, you can maybe cut off a little in the regeneration. I thought about that before. I didn't say it out loud now, but I was just... It gives you time, right? But like... That's only... Okay, so we're taking 10 away from the... Okay, we're gonna get to the fucking bullshit penny pinching in a minute. Let's just give this another moment. You're not wrong. Wingless flight. You're able to fly despite having no wings. Huge advantage area battles. Yada yada yada. Oh no, we're no Jin. Or long. Eyeless sight. You're able to see despite having no eyes. This actually, hold on. One of the weak spots. What would I... Okay, so I would only have, if I take indestructible T4 scales with eyeless sight, really would just be my mouth and any parts of my bodies that are not covered in scales. Oh shit, your field of vision is expanded to 360 degrees. You also gain X-ray vision, being able to selectively see through objects like walls or smoke. It's almost worth it. That does sound... Part of me only just doesn't want it because of the aesthetic. Because, I don't know, dragon eyes are horrifying. Fuck it, I'll just hire goblins to just write little eyes on me. I don't know. That's really good. I didn't even think about that. That's such a huge blind spot. But if I get regeneration, let us remember, then my eyes are coming back. See, I'm loath to give up minute-long within any. As long as you're alive, your regenerative powers are strong enough to heal any injury. Any. That's obscene. That seems way too overpowered. I don't know how you can give that up, because like once again, remember, even if my skills are indestructible, and even if, let's say, tier 4 skills extend them to like 95% of the rest of my body, that's still like, you still want it to be... I feel like with tier 4 scales and tier 3 regeneration, you become more than just a force of nature. You become this kind of like existential threat. Like, oh, there's almost nothing we can do of it short of a deity, right? And that's... Or like dragging it to the water. But if it can breathe underwater and you don't have to worry about it, like how is it dragging you, right? Because like if it couldn't breathe, that would be the only thing. And usually I would like a little bit of fairness in this, but we're not going for fair, motherfucker. We're going for world shaping. Dragons, goddammit. So flashing frills. You have frills that can extend to make yourself look larger, intimidating. I don't know how much that would work on a castle-sized dragon. Multiple breaths. You can now purchase and use multiple different breath attacks. Whenever you use a breath attack, you will have to decide which breath attack to use. All of your different breath attacks share the same daily limit, except for water. If you have fusion breath, all your fresh attacks will fuse into a single breath attack. I wonder, would water... No, water only works to refill water, even if you fuse them. Multiple breaths. Spirit and mana are very interesting ones indeed. Because I'm thinking, if you're this giant fucking, you take tier 1 multiple breaths, and then tier 1 mana breath, people can come to you, start sacrificing things to you, come to you, please, my son has a curse, uncurse him, and you just breathe on him. It's not bad. Multiple body parts. Let's just keep going. Choose one body part. You can add as many copies of your chosen part as you wish to your new body. You can have 2 sets of wings, make it harder to disable your ability to fly, have multiple heads. Prevent trauma from stunning you, or some reptiles have 2 penises. Why shouldn't you? You may purchase this. Man. That's a fucking hell of a word. Add as many copies of your chosen body part. You may purchase this option multiple times. Okay. I'm going to assume. Choose one body part. As many copies of your chosen part as you wish to your new body. Do I have to purchase this a second? So if I purchase this once, do I only get another head? Or can I have like 6 heads for 10 points? That seems obscene. I don't know how that would work. So I'm going to assume you just get 1 new of that, and you can, like it says, you may, I don't know. I'm just saying, okay, if we're going to rules lawyer this, I'm saying you may purchase this option multiple times. Why would it would be redundant if you had that? Plus, you can add as many copies of your chosen body part as you wish to your new body. You can get as many copies. Yes, okay, so that's fucked up. That's real fucked up. If you have multiple heads, well, if you have multiple eyes, but how would that look? I'm looking at that. I mean, I guess it would look like that, right? It would look like Tiamat. Look like some gigantic fucking... that does kind of look neat. I don't know. Okay, multiple body parts. I feel like it's an embarrassment of riches for only 10 points. But there is something to be said about just a normal fucking looking dragon being this massive, gigantic... this thing, this force of nature, legend. Like you want it to be, you need to be very particular and really craft an aesthetic image for something to be timeless for generations. Kind of like, I never read Dune, but I've listened to this one black dude on YouTube. He did like an 8-hour condensation of all of the Dune books, and it stuck with me. The very ending. I'm gonna fucking kind of spoil it. So if you mute me if you don't want to get Dune spoiled for you at the very end, for like the next 10 seconds. But it's the idea of having it so okay, well, now they're gonna get spoiled. The freedom being so oppressive for so long, and getting the urge for freedom fucking pumped into their bones, making it a part of them. I want it to have a generational memory of who I am instilled in the rest of the world. And so, if given the opportunity, let's do that. But it doesn't have to be malevolent, mind you, but that's kind of the idea of what I'm going for. And it to be like, I don't know, not everybody has this, but at least growing up, I personally had this awe and horror, this existential threat, even as like a 7-year-old, of the idea of nukes, of something that could just kill me, and there's nothing anybody I know can do about it. That's kind of the thing I want. It's fucked up, but like, it could be benevolent. It doesn't have to be evil, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's a dragon. It's great and terrible. Shell. You have a turtle-like shell in your body. Your shell is 1 tier harder than your scales. If you have scales 3s, then your shell will become indestructible. Your shell offers great protection, reduces your crawling or flight tier by 1. It's not bad, but it's a shell. I'm not really going for the aesthetic turtle thing. Natural weapons. You can replace any or all of your limbs with a natural weapon you want. You could have a razor-sharp sword, arms, crushing crab claws, scything mantis talons, pointy spider legs. Okay, maybe it's not so terrible. I was thinking like that picture looks horrible, but I don't hate the idea of mantis claws. But unless we're going for a real insectoid image, which, hey, listen, a mix between a scorpion or a rhinoceros beetle and a mantis dragon sounds fucking awesome. But I don't know if that's really what I'm going for here. Insectoid wings. They're not feathers. With regular wings, you would be able to fly similar to a plane. With insectoid wings, you'd be able to fly like a helicopter, add mobility when it comes to the cost of your wings being more delicate and vulnerable to attack. Within a minute, they can heal. I don't It's not as bad. 10 helicoptery, this giant castle. We're gonna keep going. Broodlord. All of your offspring has a compulsion to obey you, unquestionable loyalty imprinted in their DNA. Spawn enough offspring you could have your own complete loyal army. Consider straight considered. I don't think we're gonna have enough for this. I feel like that's a whole different build. T whatever. I'll do TF Brood Lord, and then 30. This is almost certainly going to be cut, but we'll see. I don't even know if I want them to be compelled to obey me. It almost seems more interesting to have them not. Colored breath. Choose one or multiple breath attacks. Has a color of your chosen. Your breath attacks has the color of your chosen color or colors. For example, your fire breath could be green. That's such a hilarious waste of points. It's aesthetic and great, but it's so silly. Enduring features. Normally, any feature of a dragon that is severed from its body would lose its supernatural hardness. Your features, however, only lose 1 tier worth of hardness. They can be used to create high. Yeah, that would be pretty rad. Tier 3, Dragonite armor for my scales. And they regen, right? Holy fuck. That'd be kind of neat. Enduring features. Really just intense. See, okay, so part of me also enjoys the idea of this immortal massive dragon sitting on a mountaintop somewhere, and then people coming to it and in awe and reverence and asking, it's a giant endeavor and a quest to go up there. But they come there, and then the dragon goes and it cures them with a mana breath, or it imparts something you give it this scale, or it does a thing for you and it just rips one out of itself, and you see it heal as it comes back, as he reaches out to you. And then you take it to some rune smith that holy fuck, this is some insanely high quality scale. But I don't know, that's a lot though, right? 10 points when we're gonna get nitpicky soon. People, quote unquote people kings with stuff like spirit breath and super rare invincible meteorite armor. Yeah, but that's kind of the point though, right? You're so above them that you can it's nothing to you, and that also endears you to them, which I mean, that's fair. I get it. I know what I've been saying. You are this myth and legend already, right? You don't have to endear them, but it's the ebb and flow, right? It's your very presence, your very existence, I suppose, would be, you don't need to. Not just normal people will come, kings will come. Okay, I see what you... Yeah, no, that's fair. That's definitely fair. I suppose. I also do like the idea. I'm almost certain there's a polymorph thing to get to a normal human size somewhere, right? Doing the whole Odin thing of traveling the world in the guise of a normal person, and then being able to go on adventures like that sounds really fucking rad. Let's just so I remember. This one matters to me more that I remember. TF enduring features 10, because it does seem like a bit of fun, and sort of maybe fun. Maybe you can't have fun being a legend. Who knows? Your breath. You have the ability to use up all your remaining daily breath attacks to perform one large super powerful breath attack, combined strength. I mean, that's pretty fucking cool too, man. I know I'm not doing it, but that's awesome. I love the image, because that's exactly what I would think of when you do that. Humanoid hands requirement: not wyvern, not worm, not whatever. Instead of I mean, I don't know if I've made this clear. I'm gonna say that twice, but I don't know how this is not This is not consideration. This is gonna be it. Humanoid hands? Are you kidding me? Are you fucking yes? I love it. There's something so it's just those giant what was it? Dragon's Dogma? I hated the face. The face of that dragon, that weird beak thing, looked terrible, but the hands is just mwah, fucking chef's kiss. Is so great. If you're the size of a goddamn castle, I guess you wouldn't need giant hands, but especially if you're transforming. Maybe not. Maybe this is... maybe I'm being silly, but who knows. Acid blood. The blood that runs through your veins is highly acidic. It is very effective against organic material, less effective against inorganic material. Oh, you have the acid breath, and then you have the acid blood. Your acid blood offers an offensive defense against slashing and piercing attacks. You're not wrong. Okay, I like this because I get the evening out. So the blades are going to cut you. It won't hurt the blade, but it'll hurt the hand holding the blade to where your breath will melt the blade. Okay. Fire sac, Betelgeuse. You have an organ in your body that produces a highly flammable liquid, which you are able to excrete certain areas of your body. The liquid will expose to oxygen, will self-ignite and burn a fair amount of time. Choking yourself in flame is advantageous in melee combat, as you can set your enemies on fire. Also dissuade enemies from grappling. The flames also offer some protection against ice magic, cold-based attacks, and cold environments. I'm going a little fast. By releasing an excessive amount of the liquid, offense and defensive properties of your flames can be bolstered. Note that your flammable liquid stores aren't infinite. And then we have the same for frost sacks. When this liquid is exposed to oxygen for the first time, would freeze, create a protective layer of ice. Your ice armor segments, we're not going to need this. Although it looks fucking rad, it protects against heat magic, but if we have the other elemental protection, it doesn't matter. And with the scales, we have lightning sacks, which I imagine do something similar. Electrical current, strong enough to deal damage to your thing. Pain, disrupt, voluntary. Plague cysts. Oh, it's such a great word. Explosive sacks or the Betelgeuse. Your scales are noticeably bigger than normal scales. This is because they are inactive bombs. Oh my god. You can release an arming liquid into your scales selectively to make them fall off your body at the same time, turning them to highly explosives. That seems like we'd start up an arms race if we get the enduring features with that. How fucked up would it also be if you're able to give this to somebody else? Like you give them a scale, they make it out of armor, and then they come to challenge you with the sheer hubris, and then like it's still active, so you just look at them and you just pop them and they just fucking explode and their armor's done. That'd be great. The obvious use of scales flying over like a bombing plane. You also bury your scales because with landmines. Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Plague cyst requires regeneration. You have several cysts filled with your virulent goo. Oh yes. Anyone except yourself who touches the goo will become infected with random diseases. Each cyst holds different diseases. These diseases are always debilitating, but not always lethal. Can be either used by non-magic or magic in nature. When one of your cysts is hit and explode and absorb most of the impact of the attack. That's, god damn, that's vile. I love it. I love the Nurgle of it all. It's not what I want to be, but holy shit, I would want an entire build wrapped around that one in particular. Also, the explosive scales is such a vivid imagery with just plucking them off. Poisonous mucus. Ooh, oh my. You excrete poisonous mucus across your body, making very slippery, offering some protections against fire, bludgeoning attacks. Much harder to grapple. Super mucus, really big tongue with the other one. It's not going to be this build. Hot body. Your temperatures are hot enough to scorch most things that touch. Give you a huge advantage in melee combat because your hot body will have resistance against cold temperatures, but your body temperature will progressively be lowered by such exposure. Cold body. Now this one, like I said before, with the effects of cold, this is actually pretty good. In that, like, just by being around other things, it just fucking freezes them and makes it harder for them to fight. So I kind of dig it. Because of your cold body, you'll have resistance against hot temperatures. I'm not gonna even write it down, but it depends. If we have more points, we'll come back. Symbiotic plants will grow on your body. These plants will boost your immune system. Don't need that. Regeneration. Tentacles. Holy shit. You have several prehensile tentacles on your body. They can be used in a similar way as a tongue or a tail, but aren't as effective. Tentacles aren't as fast as a tongue, and they may not be as strong as a tail, but they make up for it in quantity and utility. Tentacles are excel at grabbing and grappling. Chameleonic skin. Like a chameleon, we don't need to be invisible, but it would be neat. This camouflage is so good your body will look almost translucent. It'll fool anybody who don't look too close. And since it's not magic, it can't be dispelled or seen through by those who could see through illusions. Adrenal glands. You can make your adrenal glands secrete powerful chemicals into your bloodstream that will temporarily boost your physical abilities. This will vastly improve your strength, speed, reflexes. It will also suppress pain and increase your ferocity, aggression, and bloodlust. You will feel exhausted after this burst of strength. I wonder if Regeneration Tier 3 counteracts some of the... I wonder if it might even edge out the adrenal glands' effectiveness, but also definitely cut back on the drawbacks real bad. Let's see, pheromones. Choose any or all of the two genders. Your body secretes powerful pheromones. All of the cause members of your chosen gender or genders to feel strong sexual attraction towards you. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I don't know if I would do that one, but the next one, adaptive genitalia. Your genitalia can alter its shape or size in order to partners of any size. It's adaptable, so it won't just make sex possible, it makes sex extremely pleasurable, and your genitals will assume a form that'll be optimized for your partner. God, the fairy just makes it crack up. God damn it. I just gotta, god damn it. Fucking talk. Animal speech. You Mamanahan. You'll be able to comprehend and communicate with animals and monsters, but if you ask for a favor, they might want something in return. Your intelligence of the creature will limit the complexity of your interactions with them. I like this, but I don't know if it's gonna fit with what I am. Oh, that's so funny. Beak. Get fucked. I'm out of spite towards beaks on animals in fiction. I'm just not gonna write it. Fuck it. Fuck beaks. Split jaw. Your jaws will now if your jaw will be the shape of a split animal. The razor. I'm thinking about this more. It's more vulnerabilities. Your bite will cause excessive bleeding. Terrible wounds require magic or regeneration to heal. Viper maw. Nope. Your split. I mean, maybe the beak might help with the thing. No. Get fucked. Your jaw will have the shape of a viper's maw, armed with elongated foldable fangs. Your viper's maw specializes piercing, venom, fur. Oh, yeah, but although. Then regular fangs, which might not be able to pierce through deep enough through thick hides for a scale. Yeah. It's not terrible, but not with my invincible scales. Shimmering dust, which surrounds your body. Whenever a spell is cast on you, the dust will dissipate and reflect the spell back onto its caster. It'll take 30 seconds for your shimmering dust to reform around your body. If you cast a spell on yourself while the shimmering dust is active, your spell will absorb the dust and resolve as if it were 1 tier higher. Let's see here. I don't hate it, but it's 10. Requires magic resistance. I don't know. I feel like I'm probably just gonna have to tank a lot of these. Controlled mutation. Choose what number X is. Y is half the number X rounded down. You can spontaneously transform your body within a minute to mutate any breath attack. What? Feature rare features you're purchasing using your mutation pool of Y embers. You can remove any breath attack features or rare. Fuck, that would. I need to put some more thought into that one. That's horrifying. Oh boy, let's see what this is. 30 points into controlled mutation is worth it, just so you can evolve some niche non-permanent stuff when you need it. Weapons, arms, flashing frills, faster flight, crawling, harder teeth, claws, spikes, human hands, if you want to save points and not make them permanent. Chameleonic skin, animal speech, automatic dick. He's not wrong. How much are my hands? Is that 10? Let's see. We have this to the side. Human hands, 10. 20, 30 points. How much is adaptive dick? 15. You're only 25 left. You're not. I hate that you're not wrong, you degenerate. How dare you? Automatic dick. God damn it. Y is number. Choose what number X is. Y is number hands down. You can spontaneously transfer your body within to mutate any breath attacks rare features that you're purchasing using your Y. This seems so strong. You can that's my hands on the. I know you hear that on my wall. You can remove any breath features you've mutated to return the Ur embers you spent on them to the mutation pool. 15 points is auto dick plus pheromones or a T2 breath weapon God damn you. You're not wrong. This seems like it's cheating, but it does seem like something a legendary being would have, wouldn't it? Son of a bitch. Alright. 15 points is auto dick. Choose number next, wise number, rounded down. You can spontaneously transfer your body. I just have to think about this for a second. Okay, so it's really half. So you're spending 30. Yes, okay. You're not wrong. In hands, breath weapon, multiple. You're a fucking bastard. You're a bastard because it works. I'm mad at the messenger, and I don't usually do this, but I'm just like here. I guess it feels like it's. How do I put it? It feels like it's not in the spirit of this, almost, but it definitely does seem like a min-maxing. Like, I definitely want it for all of those weird things that I don't want to put too many points into. It makes you weaker because you have less permanent stuff. You spend twice as much, but some of the features you don't need all the time. Exactly. Like the magic hands. Like, you're totally right. And, like, I don't even know if I necessarily want all of those all of the time, and I really don't need it. And those are just the fun things. Am I willing to put 30 points into fun things for me to live my life? I don't know. Okay, let's keep moving on. But I will, for the sake of your correct argument, put down, let's see, you bastard. You're not wrong. Hold on. Enduring features 10? No. No. That can't be right. That can't be right. That can't work. That seems wrong. It seems cheating. Controlled mutation. TF. You son of a bitch. That seems like, okay, hold on. Rare features. Okay, I mean, that really just, it doesn't work with enduring features really once you unevolve it, the armor goes soft. Okay, that makes more sense. I could see that. Control mutation. All right, I'm less annoyed. 30 for temp, 15 worth of goods. I do want the dick that works though, because you never know. You just never know. Resurrection egg. Oh fuck! I forgot all about that one. Once you can lay a resurrection egg. Once you die, your egg will hatch and you'll be born as a tiny little baby version of yourself. It takes 1 year for you to grow one size class, and you continuously grow until you reach your permanent size. You can only have one resurrection egg at a time. This is a very rare feature. Hive mind. Your offsprings are not individuals, but neither is their offspring. Your entire broodline is an extension of yourself and your mind. This is very rare that few dragons possess. I don't want that one. The resurrection egg, however, I kind of dig it. I really dig it. That sounds pretty great. Reincarnation. This is a rare feature only available to greater dragons. Dragons that are born from a dragonfall, your soul and mind are immortal and persist even after you die. While you're dead, you're unconscious, but you'll be able to be revived using some mystical energies that are released into the world during the next dragonfall. Okay, so the question is I like the resurrection egg. It's a phylactery that you can keep using, keep making more. I don't even. I'm gonna get resurrection egg for sure, and fuck reincarnation. That seems like too much for what we're doing. All right, TF. Res egg, 10 points. Okay, so now that we're here, we've got this. Let's see. It's getting late, so I'm gonna take a look at the next image, and then we might have to call this a night for tonight, and then we can finish this bad boy off tomorrow. Diet. Oh shit. Okay, let's take a quick look see at what we've got going on, y'all. All right. Mana, bugs, we're looking at things, drawbacks. Here we go. Okay, we're going to get into the points. Welp. I think this is what was going to happen. So, like, what was it? Yeah. No. That's going to get me banned. I don't care, but, you know, who knows? Probably not quite bothered, but c'est la vie. Battle Musk. Wasn't there one where, you know what? Okay. This is what we'll do. We will continue this tomorrow. I had a lot of fun going through this. We'll go through all the other details in the bit from 5 to 10 tomorrow. Thank you all for coming. I have a YouTube channel where I upload all of this stuff, which I don't do these a ton because I have a life with, let's just say, potentially I may or may not have a family and a job, which I can't do this stuff, but I do write stuff, which is fun. I have a bunch of short stories, 40K stuff on my channel. I don't have it on this thing, but I'll put it on the Twitch channel, like a link to it somewhere. Cyoa the Adventurer. I go through a lot of these. Usually I don't really do streams. This is like my second time really doing it. It's fun. Thank you, how do I pronounce this? Angeris2 for the comments. It's kind of why I do it, because it's more fun. Good night or good morning. Yeah, one of the two. It's pretty late early. And I'll do this tomorrow. And we'll finish it off and make something. And then I'll probably write a short story for this, for the sheer amount of time and effort we put into this. And that'll be long, but I'll upload that there. So, like I said, I appreciate y'all for coming, and check that out, because writing short stories is actually one of the few really fun things I get to do. And I just like people reading them and listening to me ramble, but in written words. And yeah, so it's been a pleasure. All of you have a good night, or good morning, good rest of your day. Peace out.